skull shape. Radio check.
Hello there, Mets. How are you? Jim's certainly working, but I'm not yet. Let's see if we can do something about that. And here we are. Hello. You alright? You should be able to see me on screen now, and you can see that we're in the new version of Automobilista 2. We are now, well, it just keeps getting newer and newer. So there's been new sort of silent updates. We're now on version 1.5.3.4, and we're going to be exploring it with a critical eye. I'm good, Mets, mate. Congratulations on being the first person in the chat. I enjoyed racing on your server the other night. That was intense. That, I have to say, those Formula High Techs. Wow. Them is fast. Yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I surprised myself a little bit as well, which was fun. Yes, I remember you saying it was another stream after that I was watching of yours. I think the next night you were saying that they were kind of your favourite, or a new favourite at least. Why is my YouTube window doing that? Oh, okay, it's doing that because of that. Sorry, just sorting out technical bits here. Which I'm very not good at. I need to be able to scroll the chat. There we go, I can do that now. So yeah, I know, Mets, whilst watching your stream and others as well, I've discovered certain things. Good things, bad things, pros, cons, issues, and wonderful bits. Yeah, coming back to those formulas, you're saying the Gen 2 especially. To be honest with you, mate, I was a bit scared entering that race. I said to my mate Flip Flops, I'm going to get my backside handed to me here, because I'm not used to, I haven't tried this track or car combo, because of course we were at Barcelona with the, I think it was the Gen 1s, and I was in the Williams, or the Gen 1 Model 2, and actually ended up not doing too badly, so I was quite happy with that. I'm just trying to think of what to tackle first. So, I mean, for people watching the stream, there's, you know, there are new gameplay features, such as scheduled full course yellows, which allows you to schedule a full course yellow for pretty much any point you like in the race, which will bring the pack all closer together, which is pretty cool, especially for shorter races where you've got no sort of scheduled pit stops or things like that. We've got, you know, we've got new controls for in the control section here for launch control. So we've got launch control now. I've already done a whole video on that. So, I mean, what to test first? Oh, 1 second. Deep dive. Metz is saying the full course yellows are great when they work. Buggy at Spa 93 at least. Oh, okay. Right, so what's the issue with them at Spa 93? I think the first thing I'm going to do, whilst I'm waiting for you to answer there, Metz, is go and try. Well, I'll follow on from the video that I made about full course yellows. sorry, not full course yellows, launch control. I'll just start off with a brief bit on that. I've already done a video, but I'll just start off with a brief bit for those of you who haven't seen it on how to use it. It works rather well on this car here, the Chevrolet Corvette C8 Z06, but I'm also going to explore a couple of issues with this car. This car does have a couple of issues with it, but the launch control works well, so we'll take it to Monza. Here we go. And just see, I can scroll the chat there, can't I? Excellent. Right, we'll leave that about there. So, Metz, you tried it with 50%, so the full course yellow is coming in at 50% of the race, so halfway through. And it finished under yellow. Then tried it on 25% and again finished under yellow with loads of time left. So, do you mean that the full course yellow did not happen in the middle of the race, it happened at the end? Or do you mean it happened in the middle and then you just carried on? R-Factor 2 used to have this problem. If you had full course yellows allowed, if you got into a full course yellow, you just end up with an endless full course yellow whenever a crash happened. They've fixed that now, thankfully, which is great, especially for the new online system, which is fantastic. The new online race control system for R-Factor 2 is just phenomenal. Hopefully, AMS2 in the future can get something like it. Only at Spa, it happens. No, it happened. I can't quite read that. Happened, safety car just never went in. Right, so you did get an endless full course yellow. Is it because people were crashing during the pace lap? Or I guess not. I guess it's just that it's worked amazingly well in every other race. Right, well, that's something to let the folks at Reza know. I don't know, stick a bug report up about that specific track, Spa 98. I might mention it as well next time I'm on the forums. I'm on the forums a lot at the moment. So I'm just going to take this car and turn off all the traction control and anti-lock brakes. We'll come and give us no auto gears. This car has auto gears built in, but you can turn them off. Because, of course, even with auto gears off, launch control utilises auto gearing, but only for the upshifts and only after you've initially taken off. As soon as you take your foot off the throttle, it goes back to manual gearing. Metz is doing a bit more testing to see if that's a repeatable bug. So here we are in... Right, this is a problem with the Corvette C8 right here. You see this jumping around? This car's still got a bit of a jack in the box. It bounces around a bit. Let's see if it's doing it from outside of the car. Yeah, look at that. So if I pull forward, right, it's gone still. But now, yeah, if I put my foot on and off the brakes, it does this weird bouncy thing. It doesn't stop until you get... It's only on certain tracks I've found. Once you get out of the pits, it sort of sorts itself out. So there you go. You can see it bouncing around there. Should we get it out on track and see if it does it there?
Pit exit looks clear.
Thank you, Jim. Right, I've got Jim, Crew Chief, running in the background. For anyone who doesn't know, Crew Chief is a fantastic app which kind of acts like your race engineer or race spotter in real time. Yeah, if I'm putting the brakes on and off there, look, it's kind of bouncing up and down. It does go away after a while. It's usually when you're right out on track. But it's kind of... There you go, look, there you go. After I've taken my foot off the brake, put it on, it's bouncing around. There you go, it's really bouncing there. It does eventually go away, but I have mentioned it to Reza many times, so it's something that needs to be sorted out. But for the launch control, just to go over that quickly, and you'll also see that on this car, if I change my dash, and I'll bring up the HUD here as well, you've got, not on this page, but on pages 1 and 2, you've actually got, as well as, of course, in your HUD, for this car, you'll see it in the HUD. If I bring up the HUD, in my tachometer, I've got a little launch control button. If I press launch control, it will go orange. That's that little. This car's bouncing up and down again. Whoa. Some cars in this sim are great, but some of them really need a bit more work. Stop. That's getting really, really annoying. Come on now. It's I've noticed that the two tracks this seems to happen on is Suzuka and here. Look at that. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, procedure for launch control: stick it in neutral, and then hit your launch control button, whatever you have that mapped to. I have it mapped to L. And you don't need to use clutch or brake because it will immediately put those on for you. So you'll see on the dash that it's gonna, there you go, launch controls come up, car's bouncing around like crazy, and you can see in the HUD the little yellow sort of orangey launch control buttons come up. All you do then, build revs and let go of launch control. And there you go. I'm still finding though, you see the car sort of went a bit sort of side to side there. Yeah, the bounce. I shouldn't have used this track because the bouncing here is terrible. Launch control, build revs, let go, and off we go. I think, to be honest, if I spin this car around, I was going to use the handbrake to spin this car around, but it doesn't actually have one. A bit odd for a road car, that, eh? So here we go. Let's try to start without launch control. I'm actually getting a little bit of a straighter start. So launch control's there, but it needs some work. The other thing with this car, I'll just spin around again. The other thing with this car is it seems to have a problem. It's driving so much better than it ever did, but it has this problem at high speed with straight lines. There's a weird steering oscillation thing. I don't know if it's been sorted out yet. Let's have a look. I don't know, Mets, if you've found this yet, or if you've been mucking about with this car. I will bring up a very big positive with it as well, and we might move on to some more of the street cars, because there's a big positive that's happened with the thermal dynamics with the tyres, because of course these cars, all of the street cars, run on road legal semi-slicks, so they're not racing soft slicks, so they should not reach temperatures that a racing slick does. They shouldn't hit up quite as much, they should be a lot harder. Oh, should have stayed in third there, right. So we can try and replicate this little issue. Like I said, they may have sorted it in this build. Okay. Oh, I don't know, they may have sorted it. It had this weird sort of steering oscillation where you get to a high speed and this car would just not like staying in a straight line. And for an expensive supercar like this, you'd expect it to. I'm going to take my hands off the wheel. That looks like they may have sorted it. Let's try a little bit of a... Oh, well, I'm pleased to say that that's a lot better. That is a lot better. So let's try and keep it in a nice straight line. It's still there a little bit. Can you see ever so slightly? I can feel the weight in the steering just shifting left to right a little bit if I've got my hands on the wheel and I give it like the featheriest, tiniest little movements to the right or left. I can feel it then going left but then pushing back strangely a little bit. Yeah, I can feel the weight in the force feedback. So I think the force feedback for this car, oh god, brakes are, maybe I'll turn a click of ABS on or something, but actually let's do that. Let's turn the ABS and traction control right on, like all the way up, see what that's like. There we go. I've still got a problem. That's by turning the ABS on. It's one of the things I'm not keen on.
You've got some serious suspension damage there.
Thank you, Jim. Is the way ABS and traction control work in this sim. If I turn the ABS on whilst I'm turning a corner, I'm much more likely to lose the back end and spin right round. Whereas, you know, if I've got ABS off, I've got much more control. It's not something I'm a fan of. So that might upset a few people, but I really don't mind because I'm giving this a critical view, and I'm being totally honest. But there's another thing that I am very pleased about with the thermal dynamics. I'm just looking for a big area of runoff here.
We need to get some heat into them.
So, as I said, these tyres are running on. Actually, no. Let's go to Suzuka for this. Or absolutely not Suzuka Kansai, but Suzuka, because Suzuka, they've got a great big skid pad, and it's got a little patch in the middle that it's of different coloured tarmac that you can kind of focus on if you want to do drifty donuts. And this is a really good way of showing off these tyre heating properties. And whilst it's loading up, hello, welcome to the stream if you've just joined. And I hope you're enjoying this new build of Mortmaster 2. And if you do enjoy this stream, find it useful, give us a like and hit the subscribe button. And the more subscribers, the more likes, the more I'll be able to afford to do in future with better graphics and videos, that sort of thing. Right, so that should have saved our setup. Yeah, no traction control and ABS. Brilliant. So let's get out on track. Have we got that bouncing thing going on here?
Cross the line. Your brakes are cold. Take it
yes,
easy.
We have. Oh yeah, there we go. It's just that'll go away. So the tyres on this car, and I'm going to leave my HUD up there so you can see my tyre widget. The tyres on this car and all of the road cars were, if you started just mucking about with the car, as I've seen countless videos of American kids doing with their Camaro SSs. How do they afford cars like that, American kids? You'll see them in car parks doing burnouts, or for ages and ages, and you'll see. I've seen videos of professional drivers trying to drift a C8. They're difficult to drift because of the mid-engine, but absolutely nowhere near impossible. But the tyres on this used to get up to like 140 degrees at the rear and turn to mush, whereas you see these guys drifting them at real tracks, and they drift them for laps, ages and ages, doing burnouts, all that sort of thing, and they do shred the tyres, but at no point do the tyres turn to marmalade. They didn't get to such high temperatures. Now it seems that these tyres, these road legal semi-slicks, are acting more like you'd expect, so they will wear out before they'll get anywhere near sort of 140 degrees. So let's try a drifty donut. Okay. I'll get a bit wide there, losing my focus. There we go, that's what we want. Opposite lock, drifty donut time. Keep it going, 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 keep it going. And it's the front end's finally regained grip, so we're warming up those rear tyres now. I might want to maybe try doing this in second gear so I don't run out of revs. But there we go, there we go, there we go. Nice drifty donut. So watch those rear tyres. The important point here being watch the rear tyres. So we've now got to the 90s. Let's try second gear, so if we do a long sustained, quite wide drift around this square. it's hard to get a sustained drift out of this, it really is. I'm going to go back down to first. So there we go, we're now up to nearly 120. If I tried to do this before, by now the tyres would be about 140 and melting.
Okay,
Let's just see how that looks on the replay. Hello, 7 Below! I've just accidentally paused the game there whilst I come just to quickly look at the chat. Let's come back here. 7 Below. Hey buddy, can't join in tonight, but how are you enjoying the new update? Donuts, you say? I do indeed. Jammy donuts, strawberry flavoured and Corvette flavoured donuts. Doing Corvette flavoured donuts, testing out these semi-slick street tyres. There you go, that's a pretty reasonable controlled, you know, sustained drift, isn't it? Hello Kevin M. Oh, thank you, Mets, as well. Just ate lunch and land on this. Thanks, Paul, no problem, mate. Just in the middle of testing the heating properties, because they've changed the thermodynamics. I've been following this a bit, my eye's been on this thermodynamics thing a bit like a hawk, because of the types of tyres these cars are supposed to be running. And there we go, it's, you know, you can see where, obviously they're not going to act like just normal road tyres, they are road legal semi-slicks. So they will get hotter than normal road tyres, or you would have thought so. But it's working okay. It's still hard to get, it's really hard to get a proper sustained drift in this. I've seen it done in real life with much less effort. So let's see how those tyres are now acting now. We've got them up to 120 degrees. See, the other thing is they're wearing now. They are wearing rather than just getting stupidly hot. And you would expect them to wear out quite quickly, you know, doing this. But can we get a drift on around here? No, the back end's just gone round way too much there. Try that in first. You do have a drifting thing. Yes, I do. I do. The reason I have a drifting thing... hang on. I'm going to run out of revs in first, aren't I? Drop the clutch. Give it. Yeah, it's just not got the revs. I need second. I have a drifting thing because, as far as I'm concerned, drifting is a bloody good way of testing out a Sims tyre model. Because tyre models are the most complex thing, and drifting does very complex things to tyres. People might not agree with me, but that is the way I see it. So yeah, unfortunately, you know, now that the tyres have got hot and they've cooled down nice and quickly, you know, they are cooling back down nice and quickly, but once they're hot and a bit worn, you can't get a drift out of the bloody thing at all. So, you know, here we go. That's with a tiny bit of throttle and the back end's gone round. So far, I cannot complete a sustained drift. But I am very happy to see these tyres not getting up to such a ridiculous temperature. So, I'll try that one more time. Yeah. So that's just wrong. That's just wrong for me. This car's still not right. But driving wise, a lot better than it was. I find that, I will say this, I find that, because if you try a high speed drift, it's actually it's actually easier to hold a controlled drift in AMS2 at high speeds than it is at low speeds. It's got so much better, but it still seems to have a little bit of a problem with low speed tyre physics. And I could say that as well about quite a few sims. I mean, the most obvious example of that sort of behaviour that I can think of, hang on, it's gone right round again. The most obvious example I can think of would be GTR1. GTR1 had a horrendous problem with, there we go, oh, so difficult. Oh, there we go. GTR1 had a horrendous problem with low speed grip. The cars just had no grip at low speed. And then they brought out GTR2 and totally solved it. Yeah, it's a low speed corner there and I just can't do it. Another example I can think of, iRacing. Although they have improved the tyre model over the years, iRacing has a problem with tyres over the limit in general. It's hard to drift. And, yeah, it's gone completely, hasn't it? Metz will know that I can drift, because I've done it in ACC on his server. So, yeah, Metz is chilling tonight, and he's paid me a lovely comment there, but I'd change that to chilling and watching the leg end tonight. Let's stay on these supercars. I may be a bit waffly and spend too much time on each bit, but I'm trying to do a proper deep dive, you know, real critical look. Now this is no, I don't want to go here, do I? I want to go to Hockenheim. This is where I take this car. This is my favourite car to drift in AMS2. And I want to see what the tyres do on this now. And I'm at the wrong track. Well, seeing as we're here, let's just go into... let's give it as big a chance as possible. So we'll give it a huge lock. And we will... apart from that, we'll stay on default setups. Turn all of that off and see what this one's like. Switch to manual gearbox. Ah, Metz remembers! Yeah, my Suzuka's one of my favourite tracks for that. But I've got a better one here on AMS2. Kevin, yeah, I really do think that, you know, they're just refining it. They're never going to stop refining. They do have to get a grip on multiplayer, guys, Seven and Kevin. They certainly do. Oh, it does sound so nice, doesn't it, this? They have to get a grip on multiplayer because, well, you know, you've got iRacing and its fantastic system, but you've now got rFactor 2 and its brand new race control system, and I have to say that is absolutely superb. I'm having some of the best racing in my life on that. It's absolutely fantastic. Right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, might want to try this in first here. Can we sustain it? Can we sustain it? Oh, it's going all the way around. Ah! Come on. There's a weird thing that happens with the just at low speed with the steering in AMS2 when you try and get... Come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Ah! At some point, even if you lower the revs, the back end just... After the tyres just get to a certain temperature, the grip just falls off. Like they're not road tyres. But look at those tyres. That if I was doing this on the old tyres with the old thermodynamics. Just keep going, come on. These tyres by now would be up at 130 degrees. How hot can I get them? I'll forget about just doing control. How hot can I actually get them? 124, that's impressive. Let's see how that looks. So, here we go. Attempt number 1. So let's have a read of the chat. Yeah, I've got to agree there. 7, it's fantastic. You know, for online play. Oh, hang on. I've got to read something in the chat here. Yeah, Metz is right as well. Right there as well. Every sim needs a good multiplayer, let's face it. ACC's, you know, pretty damn good multiplayer. I'd say R-Factor 2 surpassed it now. As you know, iRacing, great multiplayer. Everyone raves about it. Anyway, enough mucking about here. Let's go to my favourite track for this car and see what this car's now feeling like. 7 below, that is Kansai, as you can see. That is Kansai. And yes, that is me drifting. But what I really want to do for this car is take it to the short Hockenheim track. Because I know that after one lap of... It used to be that after one... Well, 2 laps, to be fair. 2 laps of drifting around here, the tyres just got silly with these cars. There was a point where it was great for a while, then it all got a bit silly, as in they'd get too hot and become mush. But now they're wearing more like these tyres would, but they're not heating up as much. I'm repeating myself, aren't I? Thoughts on modding ability in AMS2? I'm on the fence because it can get messy. The drift square, mate, at Kansai is on Spoon Corner. Spoon Corner. So if you look up the track map of Suzuka, Spoon Corner, it's on the inside of that. Modding, do you know what? I'll come on to modding later. But I've got mixed thoughts on that as well. Have I turned off all my traction control? Yes, I have. Right, let's see what I can get out of it here.
Track's clear. Push. We need to get some heat into these brakes.
Good, that was fairly good. Never get a big drift around there, but around this corner, second gear, pop it. Yeah, okay, that's good. And then we get to, this is the thing, we get to this corner here. This should be easy because it's a slow corner. Actually one of the hardest ones to get a sustained drift around. Yeah, and immediately it swung a bit too far. That wasn't a proper sustained drift at all. Let's try that again. We swung too wide twice there. Yeah, oh, by the way, talking of Thunderflash, I don't know if you've heard, but there's been a message from Thunderflash saying that he's giving up. I don't know if you guys have heard that. Right, let's see what we can do. Now, there we go. That's what I mean by a controlled drift around there. if we can do it the other way. And it's just... Nope. Not happening. To be honest, apart from skins, I stay away from mods in AMS2 because there's simply too much content in the game already to deal with. That's my only reason though. Do you know what? I think this car's actually become harder to drift. And you can see how easy this car is to drift. If you watch any of the videos of the countless American kids in car parks, you know, they're kids, they're not pros, they haven't been doing it for years. It's an easy car to drift. You can tell, there we go! There we go, we got it, there we go. So, okay, maybe this is alright. It's when it gets to a certain angle, it's just... You can't keep it controlled under the throttle. Still... Okay, so that was a bit of fun. Let's go back. These corners are the best ones for this car. Right, we're at 110 now. Oh, on the back. Oh, God, the tyres have become bit mushy, bit mushy. Whew. The tyre properties on this car, they really seem to have changed on the supercars. Don't seem to have changed on this one, though. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Yes, there we go. Ah, there, and it overcompensates. Let's see how those drifts look. There we go. So AMS2 has this thing where I'm going to call it overspring. And it almost seemed like it was gone. It almost seemed like it was solved. And what I mean is, when you got your back end out like that, and your counter steering like that, as your back end comes back into alignment, so your wheel should follow the wheels here, or your front wheels, and you should just be able to come up the throttle and let it straighten out. AMS2 will kind of do that. And over counter steer the other way. It doesn't seem to match up with the tyres sometimes, but as you can see, that's not too bad. Loses it there a bit. Let's see if we can do a lap with superheated tyres, unless I knacker the gearbox like I nearly did there. What's that about the critics killing it? I think I did. Yeah, those tyres are mush already. Those tyres are mush, and we've not done a whole heap of drifting, but they are mush. Yeah, I did hear somewhere. I can't remember which forum it was, but I heard this message from. Yeah, tyres are gone. Tyres are gone. Let's move on to something else. I did hear a message from your modding man there that he'd had some, you know, bad comments. You know, he's been doing these free incredible mods for people, as people have been saying. I've not tried them, I must say. He's been doing these free mods and just getting abuse for it, basically. And I know that sort of feeling because I run jam sessions, and there's a lot of musicians who will, you know, proper professional musicians who will not run jam sessions for the exact reason that they put a lot of effort into pleasing people and trying to please everyone, and then just get abuse for it, really. and no one understands the amount of work that goes into it. It must be the same with this, with the modding thing. Right, let's go to Laguna Seca. I seem to be concentrating on handling now, don't I? Some of the stuff I may say, because this is a live stream and I'm just trying stuff out rather than doing a long concentrating video, and I'm trying to talk as well, maybe unfair. Slightly unfair because I'm not fully concentrating. But these are just views straight off on this new build. Not that this new build feels that much different to the last one for me, because I've been in the paddock club with you guys, as you know. So we've been trying out every tiny little increment, whereas people that haven't been in the paddock club and just got the new build, it's a massive, I understand it's a massive change. Right, Caterham Academy, want to make a point about this one. So this car is great, but it has an open differential on the back end, and me and a friend of mine, Flip Flops, who might have even sent me a, my phone went off earlier, so it might be a message from him. Yeah, he's watching, I guess. Hello, Flip Flops. We did notice something about this car. Oh, look at that! Usually, when you first come to the track, the car's wheels are straight, they're turned. I wonder why that, I've never seen that before. So yeah, you've got an open diff on this. And I've already set this car up with a ridiculous balance setup. So front's as soft as possible on roll bar. Rear as hard as you can go. Tyres both at the same amount. And ride height low at the front, high at the back, no bump stops, lowest amount of rebound and or dampers, highest amount on the rear as you can go. So it should give the back a chance to swing round when we left off the throttle. But there is a problem in which it's my, oh, there we go, steering's all the way around. There's a problem in that, look, you can see by the way there the whole open diff thing. If I come out to rear view, if I try and do a donut, you're going to see the inside wheel spin up. There you go, you've got one wheel spin there because it's an open diff. Right, but the problem is that if I go around a corner, violently lift off, don't even use the brakes, but violently lift off and turn in really hard, it starts to oversteer and then weirdly correct itself. So hang on. There you go, just there, and then it comes back again. It's sort of, it's weird. Let's try this corner. I'm going to brake before I get to it. No, I'm not going to brake. It's going to turn in. Starts to oversteer, and then it has a bit where it starts to like understeer again, and then it starts to oversteer again. It's weird. Hang on. Understeer there. It's really strange, but you know, it's a great car to drive. It's just a bit weird, that mid-corner swap. Let's try here. Coming up the throttle, turn in, oversteering, then all of a sudden understeer there. It was about to start going out again. It's hard to show you this. It's hard to show you this without actually feeling it for yourselves, you know. Sean Dodd, hello Sean Dodd, who would love to hear my thoughts on the 1980s F1 cars. What I like about them, what I don't. You're working on a 1986 F1 mod for R Factor 2, lots of good historic mods for R Factor 2. And of course trying to make yours as good as possible. Well, yeah, I've got this car set up with so much balance towards the front. There you go, it's oversteered, then understeered, and then oversteered back in again. It's weird. The only way you can... Right, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean now. That's an open diff car. I'll come back to you, Sean. I like your name, Sean Dodd, because I'm just looking at that and thinking Shaun of the Dod, because it sounds like Shaun of the Dead. I love that film. So that's a completely open diff. Now, if you look at the horsepower, the weight, and everything else, the closest car to it is the Super Sport. Sorry, there we go. So we've got 121 horsepower. Superlight has got 122. We've got a manual 5-speed H pattern. We've got a manual 5-speed H pattern. Where 1,366 pounds. This one is 1,322 pounds, a little bit lighter, but near enough the same. Weight distribution is very, very similar to like 0.2 or 3. Torque, very similar, 116, 119 for this. So it's the closest thing to the Caterham Academy. Now watch this. Watch what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do, this car, unlike the Caterham Academy, this has a limited slip differential. But, and here's the thing. If I take this car out, right, I'm going to give it, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to give it loads of just a setup balance to oversteer. So let's get the tyres exactly the same. Right, 160 at the front, so we have 260. Sorry, 260 at the front, 260 at the rear. Let's lower the springs down. Dampers, sorry. And then we'll just jack it up at the rear, just with the dampers. There we go. And right, so here's our limited slip differential. So we'll take that down to as open as possible. It's an as open as possible differential now with a limited slip, which should still have a, you would imagine, I could be wrong on this, but you would imagine it'd still have a little bit more lock than a completely open diff. Watch what happens now with violently turning in whilst lifting off the throttle.
All clear on pit exit, you can push now.
Thank you, Jim. I'm going to brake here,
You've got cold brakes.
hit the throttle again.
Be careful.
So throttling and lift off and turn in, and it starts to oversteer and carries on. See what I mean? There's a better corner to show you on. So it just keeps going. This is the best corner to show you because it suits third gear. Lifting off, turning in, and look at that. See, it keeps oversteering. This is acting. I always argued there was this whole thing ages ago, and I remember certain YouTubers bringing this up, you know, that there's Automobilista 2 doesn't work, there's no lift-off oversteer, and I made a load of videos saying no, there is lift-off oversteer there, because you could get it in the open diff cars. And the point of my video was that I was kind of agreeing with the people who were saying it's not there, that diffs don't work, because I noticed that it was there but it came in really late, like it was delayed or something. And then Reeza brought out that big update where they solved the limited slip differential problem, and then you had proper lift-off oversteer, which was there immediately. And a lot of the people who were saying, who people weren't very pleased with because they brought this up, were then going, oh, we were right then, and they were. And that problem's solved now. So why is an open diff car now acting less like an open diff car than a car with a limited slip differential that you can open up? So see, you've got the back end's coming round there under lift-off and carrying on to come round until the car gets so slow that it doesn't matter anymore. This Super Sport is acting more like the Academy should. I'm enjoying driving this even more than the Academy. Look at that, it's come round so far, I've gone right into the apex of the corner. Do it one more time round here. Here we go, lifting off, turning in. And we've turned in so far, we're going to crash. That is how the academy should be working. But that's me being super critical and moaning a lot. So seeing as this car is rather great, I'm going to do a lap in it before I move on to something else. I just wanted to point that out. I don't know, let me know what you think in the chat. But the Caterham, and don't get me wrong here, I'm being super critical. I'm not slating anyone, because I think Reza are doing a fine job. I just do find that with some of the updates, and I've had this conversation with flip-flops a lot, and believe you me, we don't just agree on everything willy-nilly. We vehemently disagree sometimes, but Reza do this thing where they'll update things and things will feel absolutely fantastic. Then they'll do another update and a couple of things might be fantastic, but then a couple of things will take a step back because they'll change one thing and it has a knock-on effect to the way other things work. And then later on down the line, everything then takes another big leap forward. But I guess that's development, isn't it? You know, it's, you know, they take 2 steps forward, or in Reza's case, they take 5 steps rather than 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Reza will take 5 steps forward, and everything's great. And then the next update, they'll take 5 steps forward, but one thing in the sim will go 7 steps back. And a little bit further down the line, they'll fix it all again. But this Caterham's great. But it does, in my opinion, act more like the Academy should than the Academy does. Anyway, let's. I need to come and check my YouTube window because I've been ignoring you guys. And having just asked you to tell me what you think, I really should see what you think. So, let's have a look what I've missed in the chat. So yeah, we've gone over Thunder Flash being a bit upset. I don't know much about that story, but I know that he's been a bit upset. So there's been some drama on Discord by the looks of it. Oh, there's always drama on Discord, isn't there? Let's move on to different things. 7 Below, you're saying that the V8 is great. Maybe that's the next thing for me to try. Would you like to see me try the V8? Always get weapons in every walk of life. Yes, you do. And if you mention something on a forum, I found this, even on the Reza forums, which I found very friendly. But the R Factor 2 formulas used to be really unfriendly. Now they're really friendly for some reason. If you find a problem with a car, and you're like, I know that's a problem, I've nailed it, I found it. If you find a problem with a car, and maybe it's a car that you know someone drives for real, or you know a real driver, and they go, yeah, it doesn't do that. And you find this problem, you mention it on the forums, you may get a bit of abuse, because the flak's always heaviest when you're right above the target. But I've seen Reza, the devs, not comment on something someone's brought up. They've not commented on it. You know, you might get people who are not devs, just people who buy the game, having a go at these people. And then I'll see Reza take that on board and fix it. Because that's what Reza do. They listen. They're bloody good. Not to say that any of us know more than Reza, but, you know, when it comes to knowing cars, you know, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to know how a car drives if you've driven a car. Not that I could say that I know exactly how a GT3 car could feel, because I've never driven one in real life. But if you've driven a car, you know the basics. That's my point. Sean wants to have a look at the... Sean, did you mean that you want to, what my thoughts were on the 1980s F1 cars in this or in R Factor 2? Sean said your history teacher used to call you that. Call you what? Or was that one? What did your history teacher used to call you? Also, entry oversteer, but the car's mid-corner balance is understeery. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at. Kevin's been hesitant to try the Caterhams. Kevin, for all I've said critically, I'm being super critical in this. For what I've said critically, try them. They're the best they've ever been. In fact, the 620R Whew, where have you been all this time? You know, they've sorted it. 620R is really good. There's still room for improvement, but that's come leaps and bounds forwards. Sean Dodd, is perhaps something to do with the inertia of the diff components. I imagine an open diff would regain grip faster off throttle than a locked diff, where both wheels are rotating. Yeah, but it's a limited slip, so it'll have degrees of locking at certain degrees of speed. So as the car slows down, it should open up a little bit more, stiffen up as it goes faster. It's just not making sense. The open diff should definitely, you know, I used to, one of my first car I ever had was when I was about 14, 15 years old. I only drove it on a mud field because I was too young to drive on the roads. But it was an open diff rear wheel drive, and you could keep the power on, keep going sideways all day, and then just come off it and it would just swing around. I could be wrong. I could always be wrong. Oh, your history teacher used to call you Scene of the Dodd. Brilliant. I like your history teacher. Yeah, Kevin, try the 620R. That's going to be the biggest difference out of all the Caterhams to the way that feels. Because, I mean, it should be a handful. You know, I've seen the Stig try and drive that on Top Gear, and it was a handful. It should be a handful, but it was not right, and now it is. Or rather, handles more like you'd expect. My music teacher, let's move on to something else. My music teacher, what they used to call me, Mr. Markey, unfortunately not with us anymore, poor old Sean. He used to say to me, because I'm that stupid, he used to say, "Oh, Paul, if you had dynamite for brains, you'd be dangerous." You know. Right. So that's race settings. What else do we want to try? Someone was asking me to try the V8. Someone's asked me to try the V8. So let's go to where do we want to go? We want to go to Bathurst. Yes, modern version for this car. And I've not tried the V8 for a couple or a few, because it's all been tiny little bug fix 0.3, 0.4 updates recently. Even some of them have been silent. I've not tried the V8 since about 1.3, 1.5.2 or 1. And that does feel great now. So this will be my first time trying it on this very, very, very latest build. So, yeah, let's get that and take it out to Bathurst. Let's change my shifter to sequential mode. I like to try and be accurate because I've got the option of my flappy paddles and FANATEC wheel here. But I've also got a FANATEC shifter down here, which you can't see. I've also got a H pattern. But if I press a selector on it, it then becomes a rigid sequential shifter. So I've got the option to have all three. So I try and use it now that I've got that to change it for each car. That is a point as well, actually, I'm going to make. In original Assetto Corsa, when I can't remember if this used to happen in the base game or if it only happens when using things like Content Manager. I think it is in the base game. But if you tell the game that you do have a H shifter, if you get in a car with a H shifting pattern, it will not let you, even if you try, use the paddles. It will not let you shift it sequentially. You have to, so you don't even need to know whether the car's got a certain gearbox or not. You'll know when you're getting it, because if you get in a sequential car, it won't let you use the H pattern. You can only use the paddles or your H pattern in sequential mode. That's really clever. I wish AMS2 did that. So, for instance, if I get into an old, tin top, which has got a manual gearbox, if I go to use the panels, it just won't let me, and I have to use my H shifter. I like that. That's a really, really nice touch. And AMS2 has got so many nice little detailed touches like that. I'd like to see them do it as well. Right. Oh, hang on a minute. 7 Below's got to go. Thank you, mate. See you soon. See you out on track sometime. Good to see you. Good to see all of you. Let's go reset to defaults, because I'm pretty sure this is on defaults. Get in it and see what it's like.
Its exit's clear.
Of course,
Brake temperatures are low. We need to get some heat into
this car used to have, like I was talking about with the Corvette earlier, it used to have a bit of a steering wheel oscillation problem in a straight line. Last time I tried this, totally gone. And feels like it's feels good here as well. Of course, it's got a completely locked diff or spool, so it should act like that. And it does. So if you overdrive it and overcome the torque differential, that back end will pop out, but also it should be quite stable under braking with that kind of a diff, which braking now it seems to be. What's it like as we get through the dipper and the S's? Pretty damn good. By the way, has anyone tried the R Factor 2 FRV V8 mod? What do you think of that? This is feeling, hang on. This feels really good. I was about to say, especially under braking. This is another conversation I've had with flip-flops. Braking was always a, you know, as you all know, I absolutely love this sim, but I love all the sims. And braking has gradually got better and better in this sim. It was always, out of, say, my 3 favourite sims, it wasn't so hot under braking. Now it's really good, and I think that's a thing to do with tyre physics. I've found that any sim that has a huge tyre physics update, because of the way tyres act under braking, you then get much better braking feel in general. So what I'm trying to make it easy for those of you who have ACC, a set of course competition, it used to be very hard. If you turned off, no one ever used to drive without ABS in ACC, because you just end up flat spotting your tyres, because it was hard to judge that point where the brakes were locking up, or get to that point where they're almost slightly locking but not completely, as the tyres sort of compress and you get that little squeak off of them just before they'd fully lock up. It used to be so hard to judge that everyone used to drive without or with ABS, apart from me, because I like making life difficult for myself, so I used to try and drive it without ABS, and it was very hard to threshold brake. Then, of course, ACC got that huge tyre physics update, where they went from, I don't know, I think they had either a single point tyre model or a 3-point tyre model. They then moved to a 5-point tyre model. They brought in tyre deformation and all of that, and it became, oh, I've gone wide. It became so much,
like
the braking feel improved 50%. Absolutely fantastic. You could really tell when it was going to lock up. You'd also get, in that little window before, that tiny little window before grip, about to lock up and locked up, you'd be able to feel about to lock up, so you could then immediately threshold brake with it. And in that respect, much more like you can feel the brakes. R Factor 2 is fantastic for feeling where the brakes are. It's always been good for that. ACC has moved on leaps and bounds in that. but also the big tyre updates to this sim, because of course this sim uses a tyre model much more like, uses the SETA tyre model, it's much more like rFactor 2's tyre model, and they've always been using that because it tries to model a physical tyre rather than just, you know, graphs. As they've improved the tyre physics in this, and I'm really labouring the point here, sorry guys, the braking feel has improved and improved and improved and improved with every single tyre update. One thing that's consistently, it's still on some cars, there is the odd car where the tyres will lock up and you'll come off the brake and it should then unlock, and it doesn't. You've got to pull off the brake more than you think you should. Even though this has got a tyre model more akin to, say, rFactors than AC or ACCs, for some weird reason, in the very early days of AMS2, because it has come a long way since then, I mean, the stuff Reese's done with it is, let's face it, absolutely phenomenal compared to where it came from. But for some reason, there used to be a problem. I don't know if you can relate to this at all, if any of you feel the same. It used to be a problem where you'd brake, the car would lock up, and you'd almost lift off the brake entirely. And it would still be locking up until you were completely off the brake. You know, so if you had your brake pedal down at 90% of its travel and it locked up, you'd expect to be able to lift off to 85% and it would unlock, or it should unlock, but it wouldn't. You'd have to be almost completely off the brake before it unlocked. It was like a delayed kind of lock-up hangover, if you like. Not like that anymore. Much better. So yeah, the V8's great. Like it. I've got another message here. I like square wheels. Oh, like square wheels. Yes, like square wheels. If you're talking about the lockup, or you're talking about me liking the square Kansai for drifting. Yeah, that car, fantastic. So let's move on. I'll stay on sort of car and physics things for the moment, because there's another thing which has been adjusted specifically following, you know, what Reza are doing. And for this, I'm going to go to my test bed for this, Spa, and we're going to go to the 2020 version. Let's just check on the stream. Stream's doing all right. Yes, it is. So this is something that's been looked at and improved. Let's go to our GT3 cars. Let's go to the McLaren. And let's take it out to Spa. Hello, C. Barry. Hello, mate. Who likes this game? If it just had rFactor 2's new online equivalent, it would be my main. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you can't. You just can't get around how good rFactor's online system is. It really is. It's absolutely fantastic. You know, it logs everything about your progress through the race, where you've made contact, your clean laps, your dirty laps, and also the racing is fantastic because everyone's following the rules. Everyone's following proper racing rules, of which they've got quite a few. Some of you may agree with, some of you may not, but at least everyone's on the same page. So the racing is close. You know, the racing is, I don't know, closer than, I don't know, Sting and Andy Copeland's musical relationship. Right, so here's what they've done with this car. So if we take this out on a standard setup, but I'm going to take off ABS and traction control. I'm still going to come back to that point as well. Let me know what you think, please, in the comments. Don't think ABS works well in this sim. It's easier to spin a car with it on than it is off. Let me know what you guys think. Would love to hear your thoughts on that. See, Barriers quit iRacing for rFactor 2. I've still got iRacing, but I hardly use it. I've got to do some videos on iRacing. But yeah, rFactor 2, just, you know, with rFactor 2's tyre physics plus the brilliant new multiplayer system, it's taken rFactor 2 to where it's always needed to be. And yeah, a lot cheaper. Lot cheaper. Right, so this was an issue that was brought up on the forum. I'll leave my HUD up so you can all see my braking and pedal inputs and all that. I'm just going to have a glass of water because my throat's drying out already because I shout too much. So, an issue was brought up on the forums. People saying that the things like the GT3s had an overly optimistic amount of grip on the rear end, and this was especially noticeable at Spa, where you could just go through flat out. And it's been a huge conversation on the forums. You know, Renato has posted up videos of professional drivers in Mercedes GT3s going flat out. And you can see their pedal inputs as well, going flat out through Eau Rouge at Spa, or Eau Rouge and Radley. So, you know, is it right or not? Because then you see the videos where people are going through and they're losing it going through Spa and having a horrendous crash. And now I've spoken to real drivers who have driven radicals at Spa, and you know, I've had the pleasure of speaking to these drivers, and the main thing that they say is actually that it's not keeping your foot down going through Eau Rouge, it's lifting off. You don't want to lift at Eau Rouge because it changes the weight of the car and then you spin. It's lifting that's dangerous. But the whole point is that you could go through there with nearly no wing and it would still be stable. So I'm going to drive through there on the default setup, just with traction control and ABS turned off. In it, Barry, in it, you know what I mean? It so is cheaper. Right, so I'm just going the wrong way here so I can build up some speed. Get full amount of speed as possible.
Be careful.
Here we go. Right. Let's fire. Oh, well, there we go. Fire ourselves out. Hang on. Did I reset to defaults there? Have I? Or have I done something wrong? No, I'm on a default setup. Good. Try that again. Yeah, the weight transfer is different, Max. You know, it's
your exit's clear.
Specifically with the GT3s, it's become a bit of a big thing.
You've just gone out on track limits.
You know, the Crimson Eminence and Renato have been hot on this subject, as has a lot of other people. But this is, you know, taking Eau Rouge, Radley on. I'm going to try and take it at full throttle with the default setup and see if I can stay within the lines. And here we go. And yeah, I can easily. Okay. So, say with a setup like that in, say, I don't know, RF2 ACC, I might understeer a bit more and go over the lines, but it's still not impossible. The thing that does change very much, or used to be the difference, you could go through there with, here's my rear wing, I'm going to take it off. Like, the rear wing's never off, is it? I'm taking it down to the lowest level you can, so as little downforce as possible from that rear wing. And if you were to do that in rFactor 2, certainly in rFactor 2 or ACC, you know, that's back end gone if you did that. Now in this, on the default setup, and you may have, some of you may have seen the video I did on this,
You're all clear. Stay behind.
where I made a death setup, a setup so ridiculously balanced to oversteer that I literally called it death. If you've seen that video, you'll know where I'm going with this. So they've changed it. So what they've done is they've made the aerodynamic characteristics, as Renato put it, still kind of similar when the rear wing is set high or its default amount, But when it's set to a lower amount, he himself said the grip was too optimistic when the rear wing was set at its lowest setting. Now you've got a lot less grip when it's set to its lowest setting, and as Metz says, much more realistic. It does seem that way. So here we go. So I'm going to try and go through full throttle. Here we go. And I can still totally do it. Can still totally do it. However, watch this. If I go through with 0 wing,
Pit exit's clear.
but this time I'm going to pretend that there's,
Your brake temps look good.
you know, another car on track or something I have to avoid or slow down for. I'm going to lift. Let's see what happens if I lift. So the weight balance changes. Here we go. So I'm going through, watch my pedals, and going through and lift. Whoa, there we go. There you go. I've lost it. Under lifting. Because it's changed the balance of the car.
Your suspension's
And I've
completely knackered.
run out of grip.
There's nothing we can do there.
And now, for some reason, hang on, I can't escape. Oh dear, this is the problem with having a battery operated keyboard. I can't escape back out because my battery's run out. Bear with me, and I'm going to try that test again to show you I'm not just deliberately doing that. But it is now much harder, you know, keep that back, if you use no wing, keep that back end stable through there. 1 second. Find the battery. Back in there. Oh look, the car started driving itself. Right, let's see if this battery works. Oh god, that is annoying. Stop it. There we go. There we go. We can stop that horrible noise now. Right, that's sorted that. Chuck that away. Right, so back to the pit box. Let's go completely mad, actually. Let's give it a ridiculous setup to make things even more exaggerated. So we'll ramp up the back in terms of stiffness. Give it loads of engine braking. Soften the front, ridiculously so. Take out all the bump stops. And then we'll move on to something else. Turn it off and on again. Have you been watching the IT crowd? So. And we're going to stiffen the rear as much as it will go. And we're going to open up the diff. Because if I open up the diff, especially under lift off, it should make the back end really quite scary. But this is under lift off, it's different under power.
exit looks clear.
Oh, look at that! Immediately, it's that back end's very slidey now. So it's harder to do a donut now with that diff loosened up like that. So I'm going to try and lift off as I go through. Okay, foot hard down, lifting off. Yeah, just gone, innit? Totally gone. Right, let's so we're still going to keep the back end stiff, but what we're going to do now is see if we can go full throttle through there. But under throttle, the worst thing that you can have is keep your foot down with a lock diff, because if it overcomes the torque differential, it'll do what a drift car does and slide. So we've now got a fully locked diff, and I'm going to try and go through there with the back end with no wing and everything jacked up to as stiff as possible on the back and as hard as possible on the front. See if I can get through there with a lock diff.
Don't cross the white line.
And it should be very easy to do a donut now, because we've got that locked up diff. Here we go. So now I'm going to keep my foot down, see what happens. Not going to lift whatsoever. Yeah. So there you go. So that's a quick silly test, but it kind of exemplifies the point that they have improved that to maybe what you'd think or what you hear from people who talk, who, you know, all we can go on is what you hear real drivers talk about, you know, what you'd expect. But hearing real drivers talk about it, it seems like they're acting more realistically. None of us can know from sure, but that is what the game is doing now. So that is just what the game is doing. Seeing as we're on the GT3s, we'll just stick with them for just a moment. I'm going to go back to Laguna Seca. Now this one here, what are your thoughts, folks, on this car here? Because this one's a bit of an odd one. A lot of folks used to have a problem with this under acceleration when it first came out, and say it could be a little bit slidey under acceleration, and I always thought it's fine, just take out the rear bump stops and it works perfectly. But now I seem to have a problem with it under braking. It's more sort of, unless you got the brakes 68 to the front, the default 60 on your bias, the back end steps out under braking. I don't know what you think. Let's make sure it's on default setup. But take off all the aids, and let's so there you go. I'm full throttling it there, and I'm still reasonably controllable. You can push the back end out under full throttle, but it's controllable enough. It's the braking I find this car a bit difficult on. Only if you threshold brake. If you lock up, it'll go straight on. But if you threshold brake, I'll try and show you what I mean. Okay, so threshold braking. Look at that! And this is Godzilla, you know. This is the super stable, super easy to drive Nissan GTR. If I threshold brake again, okay. Look at that! See, I'm threshold braking. You can see how much pressure I had down there.
We're seeing lots of front locking.
So, if I try and brake too hard and lock up, it's not going to do that. So, just go straight on. You know, I've had to come off the brakes again there, and now slightly flat spotted my tyres. See, it's all right. But if I just threshold trail brake, watch again. Not so much there, I think it's because I've got a flat spot now and it might be sort of locking on that. Let's try a little bit. Threshold brake, threshold brake. Well, it's actually better now. It might be because I've warmed the tyre. Let's make this completely fair. Let's warm those tyres up without any. Let's warm them up. Even though it's got tyre blankets on, we'll give it a bit more warmth.
Exit's clear. Push.
So let's go around here. Threshold brake. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Does anyone else know what I mean? It's when you've got a certain amount of pressure on it with this car. It just does that. So can we sort it out? Can we sort it out? So we weren't going all that fast, so the downforce won't be coming into play a lot, but enough. So let's give it, how much wing? Let's give it 6. So we go up a step on the rear wing, bring the engine braking as far as we can. Funnily enough, on this car, a lot of the engine braking can go from 0 to 10. 0 giving it more engine braking, 10 giving it the least amount. This will only get a 5, interestingly enough. We'll leave the diff alone, and we'll just take out the rear bump stops. Just slightly lower the bump and rebound on the back because they're higher than the front. Only by 2. Can we lower the back end? Yeah, we'll lower the back end as well. Keep that centre of gravity down. And there's one other thing you can probably do to... Ah, yes, now look. There's a clue as to why it might be. You've got higher tyre pressures at the back than at the front. Quite a bit higher. So you've got less grippy tyres at the rear than you have at the front. And let's stick our brake bias to 66 to the front. We'll go 66 to the front. Can we solve it? Hello, Fartini. How you doing, man? Looking up threshold braking by the looks of it. Quite a bit more controllable under throttle there coming out of the pits, I must say. Can we solve that braking problem? Okay. Oh, it still wants to come round, but not nearly as much. That's much better. Much better. Keep going. Much, much better. This car's driving 10 times better now. Under braking, that is. Rainy Curve's a good place to test it. Yeah. So a little setup change and that's sorted it right out. But I will say this, if I was to try it in R Factor 2 or ACC or AC, so there's 3, oh no, you can't do it in R Factor 2 because it doesn't have this car. But in AC and ACC, with a similar setup, you've still got a much more stable back end. I think that's to do with the brake bias, because it actually acts the same as those sims under power. Yeah, that's totally sorted out the back end being a bit weird under braking. Totally sorted it. And the reason I think it's sorted it, apart from those other tweaks that I made with the bump stops and everything else is that I'm going to explain something that I find fundamental to AMS2 compared to every other sim I have. In every other sim I have, if I was to say, let's be totally in the middle and set a 50-50 brake, if you actually look at how... so that's just a scale. It's just a scale. So 100 to the front and 0 to the back, or the opposite way around, is just a scale. But at 50-50, in any other sim, if you get your HUD up and look at what the heating of the brakes, what's happening to the brake discs, the actual temperatures they're getting to, at 50-50 in, say, R Factor 2 or ACC, and I know you can't see your brake pressures in actual temperatures, it's just a coloured bar. There is a way of doing it. I'm not going to go into that now, but so I can prove this. You're generally going to be getting, if you choose exactly the same car, and I usually use the McLaren 720S for this because it's in pretty much every other sim, and I use a track like Laguna Seca, which is in pretty much every other sim. If you set your brakes to 50-50 in the other sims, you'll get 50-50, or in terms of heating to the brakes, or you'll get slightly more heat in the front brakes. In AMS2, to get the same actual temperatures in your brakes in any car that is in any other sim, you have to go at least 6 or 8 more to the front, because in AMS2 it seems to heat the rear brakes or get them up to temperature faster than anything else. I don't know why that is. Oh, and by the way, before anyone says it, I know some people have got flown for comparing sims to sims, but I do, because, you know, if I was going to compare a car to something, I'd compare it to another car. I'm not going to compare it to a bucket, you know. So I am using other sims there because it's all I know. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think of that. Anyway, let's move on to something else. Reset that to defaults. Was that just by reducing the rear tyre pressure? No, what I did there, so we're back on the default now. I increased the rear wing by 1, set the brake pass 66 to the front. This is just an answer to Fartini there. Put the rear tyre pressures to the same pressure as the front, so lowered them, and took out the rear bump stops and brought our fast bump and fast rebound, and it's the rebound on the rear that's going to have an effect on under braking. Brought that down to just under what the front is. That's what I did, nothing else. So let's move on to something else. I think what it's time to do now is check out the AI. What do you think? Check out the AI? I'm going to check out the AI because there have been big changes in the AI. So let's go. Where can we go? Let's go to a premium track. We'll go to a premium laser scan super duper track. So let's go to Nuremberg, and let's go to Nuremberg 2020, but VDOL without the chicane. Shall we go there with GT3s or something else? We want to go with some premium cars. We'll go with premium cars, so we'll choose GT3s. Let's go with GT3s. And I'm going to take the Porsche. And let's see what happens if we set... So... Oh, I'm still on a test day. Silly boy. Right, GTEs, please. Porsche. Nuremberg. And, you know, I want to check this out because AI paths at different tracks have been fine-tuned. AI has been fine-tuned in all sorts of ways. Their overtaking abilities, their side-to-side movement, everything has been looked at. We'll just keep these settings as they are. I am running maximum damage, by the way. I'm going to change that because, although I like to race with maximum damage, or damage scale with full damage, I do find if you race with medium damage, you're more... See, if the AI get damaged with maximum damage on, they seem to take less of a hit than you do, in terms of how they can still physically move. You can see them getting damaged as much as you can, but they still seem to drive a bit easier than you, so maybe they won't pit with a small bit of damage, whereas you'll have to. On medium, you seem to be much more in the same space, or on the same page, so we'll go with that. Right. We shall come back in here, and let's see, we'll set our opponents to max available. Oh, I'm on identical. Let's change that to same class at 25. And, oh, do I want to make things hard for myself or easy for myself? Do I want 100 or 105? Let's try 105. And we shall give ourselves... We'll give ourselves a 5-minute qualifying session, just to see how fast I am compared to them in qualifying. We'll go on default setup for the moment. The AI will and can change their setups at anything over 80% skill, but we'll go with that. We'll pop in 2 weather slots, so we'll have it changing to rain, and see if what they're like, their speed is like compared to mine in either dry or rain. We'll sync it to the race. Default progression, private setting. Yes, we'll have a private setting for our qualifying, just so I can get used to the car. We will have full course yellows on, just in case something happens. But I'm not going to schedule a full course yellow, because of course we can have scheduled full course yellows now, which is down here. But I'm leaving that off for the moment. And we'll have 20 minutes, so we'll get a good idea of how they are in both dry and wet. And yeah, that should be all good. So off we go. So we'll load up the track. I'm really quite looking forward to this, because I think Reza have done really fantastic work with the AI. The AI in this sim, in certain regards, just things that you just don't see in other sims. Especially if there's a track on instant. The AI in this sim know how to reverse. It's one thing the R-Factor 2 AI has got much better since I've started paying some attention to them. But why have I only got 10 cars there? I've only got 10 cars there. Ah, that's a bug. That is a bug. Because I've put in many more than that. I have to reload. Yeah, AI cars in R-Factor 2 can't reverse. If they get it, well, they can, but they're not very good at it. AI in this, absolutely fantastic. If there's a big pile up, they will try and reverse and go round it. It's amazing to watch. So 25 cars. Save. Yes. Start the session. I've seen this one before. You'll set it to, you know, a maximum amount of cars. It will give you about half of them for some reason. Please don't do it again. Loading, loading, loading. And what have, oh, there we go. We've got a full field of cars. Good. That sorted that. Just a quick reload sorts that out. So let's take our fuel down. We're on a private session and drive. Take off my traction control. How far is my view? Oh, my view's all over the place. Right, here we go. Let's qualify. Remember my pit speed limiter there.
It takes it is clear. Push now. Okay, Paul, they've got 4 minutes to get the job done.
I do love the fact that in AMS2 now
Your brakes are cold.
every car has a properly working dash. So if you have several pages on your dash, you can go through them. So look, here you go. You can see my tyre temperatures changing from pressure to tyre there. This car's only got 2 pages of dash that change. Some of them have like 3 or 4 pages that show you different things to change the temperatures. And everything works. So if I adjust my brake bias, it adjusts on my dash as well as that little graphic that comes up. Anyway, let's concentrate on getting a decent lap because I want to see where I am in comparison to the AI. So I'm going to go quiet for a little while. Oh, and I forgot. I've actually got the weather set to current day.
There's a bit of drizzle starting.
So look at that. I've got the weather set to the current day. So it's winter and we've got, you know, no leaves on the trees and a bit of frost around. We're getting a bit of drizzle here in qualifying. Did I set the? I forgot to set the weather in qualifying. Damn.
Just decrease it. It's now 5
Oh well,
Celsius.
we'll stick with it. Get the wipers going. Oh, that is coming down quick because we've got it synced to race. Oh, I'm gonna have to go and put wet tyres on.
Getting harder.
Else this just ain't gonna work. Pop on wet tyres. I've only got so much time. Come on. No wets. Right, done. Hang on, has my FOV
There's a
changed?
car approaching. Don't cross the white line. You're locking up your fronts a lot. That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
Doesn't look like any of the AI have set a lap time yet. But they'll probably be setting one before I do, seeing as I've had to sort of go out again. I wasn't expecting to have to try and qualify in the wet. I didn't think to check what my weather settings were for qualifying, but hey ho. Big puddles on the inside there. They have changed the way wet weather works.
Celsius.
So they've reduced the depth that puddles can get to. So you don't get really ridiculous kind of aquaplaning, because there was a point where you could drive over a puddle in this sim at literally 5 miles an hour. You know, if it was wet even and you had slicks on, okay, they're slicks, and you hadn't changed yet, but if you drove over a puddle at 5 miles an hour, the car would sort of auto spin or just really properly lose control. And yeah, you can drive over a puddle with slick tyres on without a car spinning because a car has weight. Oh, there we go. Can feel the pull of that puddle there, but it's not ridiculous. That's much better, much better. Oh! Well, I've run out of time. And none of the other cars have got... Why haven't they got... No one's done a lap. Apart from Leiden Van Est. And actually... oh, no, there we go. The times are coming in now. Wow, look. So one of the AI has got a 2:30. Another one's got a 2:16. Maybe Leiden Van Tess got his lap in just before it started raining, or as it was raining, but he was still on slicks, because that's a huge difference. Because look at Yanni Marcussen, he's got a 2:15. I'm going to be so far back down the grid. And this is only at 105 skill. I have got them running on max aggression. So the times are coming in now. Someone that Philip Eder has got a 2:40.42. He definitely went out on slicks on a wet track, didn't he? So all the slow cars, slower than me, well, me and the other slow cars are here. That's our times. And the rest of them are getting 2:15s, 2:16s, 2:17s, 2... Very varied there. That's probably because the weather was changing as we were going through the session. I'm going to just continue, so...
20 minutes. That's pole.
What? It's put me in pole. I wasn't in pole. I was right down the bottom. Have I mucked up here? I may have mucked up. This may not be the game. It might be me. Sorry about this. Because that's not right. I shouldn't be in pole. What have I done? I bet it's my fault. I bet it's my fault, not the game's. Or not the Sims, rather. No, I had a qualifying session there, so... Right, I had a qualifying session. So unless... Because I thought maybe I'd had my starting position in first. But you can't do that unless you turn qualifying off. Now I turn qualifying off, I can say whether I start middle, first, or last. Why has it done that? That's a pretty significant bug, that is. Why could it have done that? Why could that have happened? Ah, it might have been because none of them set a lap time, apart from that guy that was slower than me, till after the qualifying session had finished. It literally might have been too short because they were all setting times after the session had finished. But that's after the session had finished, so I'm going to give them a longer qualifying session. I'm going to keep it on good weather. I could just go straight to the race, but I want to see what their times are. 5 minutes is very, very short. Kevin M says, AI was able to drive slicks far better on wet, hopefully more equal to the play. Now, I think, yeah, slicks on wet on a wet track behave much more like tyres now. You know, they're slicks, but they're still rubber on a surface, isn't it? They are, in my opinion, they do, from my experience so far. Right, we've got to change our tyres to dries, or automatic low weather. That should put us on soft slicks. Turn off the traction control. Yeah, from my experience of the AI races I've had, because slick tyres on a wet track used to be, you know, of course you should have less grip with slicks on a wet track than you should with wets, but they literally, at one point it was ridiculous, you know. It was like, no, I haven't got slicks on a wet track, I'm actually driving on glass with oil in between it. It was like that. Now it's much better, which makes the transition from dry to wet in a race, you know, when you're staying out on slicks for as long as you can, much better. So, what do we learn from that? Always let your AI, give them a long enough qualifying session, because they're not very good at making decisions. Give them a longer qualifying session so they get their laps in before the session ends. Otherwise, their laps, because obviously, if they get their laps in after the session is finished, as they did earlier there, they don't count, obviously. So God, doesn't it just look? I haven't done a race recently. I've been practicing everything with default dates. I haven't done current date, and so this is the first time in a while that I've seen Nuremberg with the winter foliage, and it is really rather fantastic to see that. Absolutely brilliant. It's just one of the things about this sim you've just got to love. You've got to love it. And the track, definitely low temperature at the moment because, you know, we've gone out on soft slicks that use tyre blankets. So, you know, you start off with them at a decent temperature of around 70 degrees. And I'm, as you can see, just about keeping them there. I am overdriving the car a bit just to do that. So we're on a pretty cold track because we're pretty much on all of those tyres just below 70. They've really been working quite hard. Oh, there we go, we've got up to 70 on the back, but it won't last. They've been working really hard, I know, because I've had conversations with guys on the forums and the devs themselves about the thermal dynamics, and they've said so many times how they've changed those parameters and characteristics. And from what I've seen so far of the recent updates up to this one, it has improved. It really has improved. Still not seeing any times from the AI there, but once I've completed a lap and I get my time, I will then see their times start to come up. Because it only shows you their times as a comparison to yours. So you have to set a lap to see what laps they're doing. I'm braking not late enough, I think.
The leader has just done 152.4.
So there we go, they're starting to get their times in now.
V6.
Like I said, the feeling under braking, feeling that point of where the brakes are biting when they're about to lock up, so much better, best it's ever been in AMS2, and I really do think that is very much down to the improved tyre physics. I really do. You improve the tyre physics, the braking feeling, improve the tyre physics in any sim, and the braking feeling just gets better.
Okay, Paul, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left.
Now, another reason I'm doing a qualifying session before I do the race is because I like fast AI. I don't like, you know, I want people who are brand new to sims. Maybe you know, they're brand new to driving. Maybe it's someone quite young who's never had a chance to really drive any car in anger. You know, they're going to want AI that they can keep up with. And the AI in this sim can go all the way down to 70. You know, all the way down to 70 skill level, so you can make them slow. But I like a sim where if you turn up to 100%, if you've had no practice in that track and car combo, completely new to it, haven't tried any setups or whatever, they'll give you a decent race at 100%. And then at least you know that you're good for the future because they've got 20% more to go, you know.
Your last lap time was at
so if you,
1:88.
because obviously if you go out on the track with a car combination, you don't know, and you're learning the track, I know this track quite well, then you're going to be slow to start off with. But if you practice for an hour, you're going to take 4 or 5 seconds off your lap time. You know, especially if you mix that up with setting up the car to your liking. And here I've got them set to 105 skill level, just above 100, and I'm in 26th position at 28.
Okay, Paul, you've got half your fuel left.
In fact, they are. I'm going to have to think about shutting up and concentrating because they're a lot faster than me. And I say that because at one point, with the GTE cars, at one point they were really out of whack and you could put them up to 120% and you could still wipe the floor. Absolutely wipe the floor with them. I'm very pleased to see that they've got decent speed now. Kevin says 120 can cream even an alien in some combos. I think there's a lot of headroom. Yeah, well, that's, you know, I like that. That's how it should be, because even the aliens shouldn't have to run out of decent competition from. There should always be. You should always be able to keep turning them up until they're just a bit faster than you, at least.
Just
you know.
2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
Once you can beat the AI at the highest level, that's it. As an offline sim, it's no good to you anymore. Right, can I get a better time? Because I'm doing really bad. I'm going to shut up now.
Okay, Paul, we estimate you've got 5 minutes of fuel remaining. That's a new fastest lap for Thunder, 152.19.
I've got to say, whilst I'm going around, this Porsche feels great. I'm going to shut up again now.
Your tyre temps are looking good.
Right, up half a second early, that's good. Oh, mucked up that corner. But this car did feel very good for the Schumacher S's there.
Sector 2 is 1.5 off the base.
Oh, I'm up a second. Over a second and a quarter. And I'm oh, amazing! Amazing! I should have put them at 100, shouldn't I? Because look, I'm still last. I got my time up. I'll get faster during the race, but look at that! I am the slowest by 0.2 of a second nearly. So that is fantastic competition from the AI, at least in qualifying. At 105 skill, I should have put them at 100 because I don't know, I might struggle to keep up. Right, so at nearly 2 minutes a lap, that lets me know what kind of fuel consumption I'm going to have to think about.
20 minutes.
So we're going for 20 minutes. So I'm going to put in 15 laps of fuel, should do it. No, I'm going to stay safe and leave 16 in there. I'm going to... Fartini says they're often less competitive in the race. I do find that, but only for the first few laps. Then they really start speeding up. What safety car is used in this class? Says Kevin. Good point. I'm just going to sort my pit strategy out, and then I'll have a look. So, I want to have a tyre change halfway through. I want to change all of them to wets. And if I want to check, I never really get back brake damage, so I'll put everything else to fix that if I need to. But that's what we'll do. So right, got that sorted. We're on soft slicks. Where can I see the safety car? Can I see the safety car that they are using? Because it would be interesting to know. I do love. That's another little, these lovely tiny little details. I'd love to see, you know, the fact that they changed the safety car for each class is brilliant. I wonder if I can... Right, the track is at 45 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I don't know, in you know, let's change our display so we get it in Celsius. That's going to be, what, less than 20 Celsius? Let's change our units to metric. There we go. The track is at 7 degrees C, and the air's only 8%. So I bet I can get closer to the AI's time. I don't really want to change the characteristics of the car now because, you know, I'm used to it driving it is. I'm going to lower the rear tyre pressures. In fact, I'm going to not just lower the rear tyre pressures, I'm going to lower them all because I can get away with that. Let's go down to 160. Because the track is cold enough that we can get away with doing that. The radiator opening, let's take that right down to 50. Get a bit more speed. And I think we can get away with possibly, we weren't really burning out the brakes at any point, although we are using the brakes a lot on this circuit. So we'll take a little bit off the ducting. Right, we should be able to hopefully keep with the AI now. Are you going to Google it? Okay, Fartini's saying he's going to Google which safety car they're using. I wonder if I just click on different... No, I can't. I can't change the view from here, so I can't see. If we go through the... When we go through the pits, we'll see. Or if it comes out, we'll see. So, wish me luck, guys. Let's see what the AI are like in changing conditions and how fast they are in the race compared to qualifying. Remember, I was slower than the last AI by 0.2 of a second nearly, but I've now closed up my vents a bit, given myself lower tyre pressures, so you know that's going to change my speed. I'm going to concentrate now. I may not talk all that much through this. But I will comment on the AI. Let's go.
20 minutes.
Well, I've certainly not made things easy for myself.
Green, green, green.
Oh, good start by the AI there. Very equal start between me and them. On the brakes, on the brakes. Can I have a look down the middle? No. Down the inside, there's a bit of a space, but I don't want to risk it. Got the AI on my outside there. There he is. Can I get around the outside of him? No, I can't. Stay on the outside. Oh, BMW braking more than I thought it would there. AI on the outside staying close to me, but not giving in. Look at that. God, those BMWs are really fast in a straight... Oh, he's moved across on me. Bit of blocking going on. Well, I'll tell you what. They're certainly not super slow on the first lap here. I'm going to use it. Ah, those BMWs are just so much faster than the Porsche in a straight line. Can I just get past one? Oh no! Oh, nearly touched him. I'm faster than the BM there in the corners. But look, they're fanning out nicely already. Such a great start. I'll try and make it down the inside. I'm going to try. Yeah, I'll probably put a move on him there. Got the slipstream of the one in front, but they're getting away. The one behind, there he is in blue. He's going down the inside. He's faster than me on the straight, but I braked a bit late to the corner. But oh, around the outside. Oh, that was so close. Very close, but no contact. But super close racing, super close. Look at that. Oh, he's had a little bit of a slide. Did you see that? I kept him to the outside a bit too long. He hit the curb, loosened him up a bit. Great to see that. That is fantastic. Right, I've got to try and keep him there now. Can I keep him there? No, we didn't even have a slight tap. I didn't touch him. Absolutely didn't touch him. He just he was on the outside. He had a bit of a wobble. That was just him having a bit of a wobble. We had no contact. Trust me on that. Didn't feel it. Couldn't hear it. Absolutely. Yeah, I know. It's so cool. I have, every time I've tried the AI, because for those of you who know my channel, you know I've done lots of videos racing the AI. Even before this update, in this sim, I've always been impressed with them. Because you never get the same race twice with them as well. Which is absolutely amazing. Even if you do a race and then restart it, you never get the same race twice. Right, come on. I am over the moon to see this level of competition from them at 105% difficulty. I really am. Absolutely over the moon. Right, what am I going to go down the inside? Dare I? Late braking. Can I outbrake it? Oh, not quite. Oh, little. Right, now I had a tap there because I had a little bit of a slide right in front of him. He was going for my outside. I slid, back end stepped out, and he had a small tap into me. Not enough to cause any damage, but a small tap. And that I will totally accept. Because any human behind me there would have struggled to have slowed down because I literally slid into his way. But he hit the brakes enough that he didn't do any damage to my rear end. That is quite something. Locked up a little bit there.
Come on, let the race come to us. 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
I am getting higher tyre temperatures after lowering those tyre temperatures, which is good. I feel like I've got a bit more grip.
The gap to race in front is now 0.5.
This is with the AI. In fact, if it carries on like this, I'm going to say something that might be quite shocking, but a huge compliment to Reza and AMS2. I've gone ever so wide there, lost a bit of time, because I went so wide that I thought I was going to end up on the gravel, so I've lifted a bit. My mistake. Brakes are staying at good temperatures, good. I could have probably got away with more radiator and brake duct blanking because my temps are staying good. My oil engine temps are good. I'm going to make a move on the yellow BM there. Clean overtake there. But he's not really giving up because it looks like he's much further away from me now in the mirrors, but actually he's there.
Alright, Paul, the pit window
Things look so much further away from you in the mirrors than they actually are.
We'll need to pit for fuel. 11 minutes into the race.
Is he going to fight back? He's already fighting back. Look at that. Look, he's there. I'm definitely faster than the beamers in the corners, but as soon as we get on these straights... On that note, see what we can do here.
That's 5 minutes of fuel left.
Oh! Oh, he had the line there, but I was braking as late as I could. I could have maybe braked a little bit later, but I'm not gutsy enough. But I've got the slipstream of him now. So I can keep up if I'm in the slipstream, but if I'm just out of it, so much faster than me. Right, let's go for it again.
153.18.
Oh, a little bit of a lock up. He's still there, side by side. Brilliant, absolutely amazing. I've got his slipstream, I'm right in it.
23rd place.
I'm going to try and take him here, late braking, keep him to the outside. Oh, we've just touched because I literally locked up and started going straight on. He's just touched me and then slowed down enough to get in with that. Oh, brilliant, brilliantly done. I left the braking too late, ended up locking up and going straight on, holding him right at the outside. And he's not just giving up and going on you go then, which is great to see. Thank you, mate. Good luck with the stream, Mets, mate. I assume you might be doing KCR, SR stuff or something important like that. Thanks for dropping in. I'll see you soon in the server. This is fantastic. Oh, that was as late as I dare brake.
Don't let this guy distract you.
Right, can I make time on him through the S's here? Get back up behind him.
1 gallon remaining.
Really making me concentrate.
End is now 0.5.
Right, I'm back with him, in the slipstream.
Very little fuel left.
For anyone that's just joined the stream, this is what the AI are like at 105 skill level. They are this good.
153.29.
So I'm doing a 154 now, so I'm faster. I have got faster than my qualifying times, but it seems like their times compared to between qualifying and race are what you'd expect. I've lost a load of time there.
We estimate 1 minute of fuel remaining.
Come on, come on. I'm right on him, right on him. But he's not making it easy to get past. They're no longer absolute pushovers when it comes to getting past, and also once you're, you know, in front of them. They're not pushovers anymore.
Fuel left.
But they're still really great at racing you close. But oh no! I'm running out of fuel. Oh my god! Did I not adjust my fuel? I thought I'd adjusted my fuel. Damn right, Kevin, I'm going to have to box this lap.
Pressure on. Don't give him any respite.
Damn! Right, I've got to bring up the
Okay, pit stop requested.
pit menu.
Pit crew is ready.
I'm 8 minutes through the race. Why hasn't it started to rain yet? Am I going to even make it to the... I'm going to start coming off the throttle because I don't know if I'm going to make it to the box. It's not raining. Why hasn't it rained?
Garrido, 153.03. You're outside track limits there.
Gotta make sure I'm at pit speed limit.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
I'm gonna have to not change the tyres now. Putting about, I don't know, 10 laps of fuel off. Oh dear! Sorry boys for a complete feckin' rookie mistake there.
Go, go, go. He takes it, it's clear.
And now I'm a million miles away from the AI. Did anyone check and see what the safety car was there? Because I forgot, I must admit. Oh, yeah, Fartini's just mentioned that. I was concentrating on changing the changing my pit setup options as I ended. I didn't look at the safety car. Did anyone else see it? I don't believe this. How rubbish am I? Look like a Camaro. I did see something out of the corner of my eye, and I think you might be right. I am I'm properly sweating. The AI were giving me, I was really trying against the AI there. Really good competition from them. So I've completely mucked that up for everyone, because now you can't really see what the AI are like, because I'm not going to catch up with them for, well, till the end of the race. Tell you what, seeing as that's happened, shall I just slow right down, let them catch up with me, and then get back into the pack again? Might as well do that, eh? What an idiot. What an absolute prat. We'll stop and wait for them. So I want to spend the last 5 minutes in the pack with them, just to check their behaviour. I'll set something else up. Ah, here they come. I'm going to get blue flagged all the time, but sod it. Here they come. Okay, and it's the leaders as well, so
5 minutes remaining.
they're going to fly past me.
Keep it nice and smooth. Come on, let the race come to us.
Already there, mate. It's already there. Blue flag's already there.
You're running last.
Thank you, Jim.
Blue flag.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. This is going to just show you what their overtaking skills are like then, isn't it? Oh, he's trying to go through the outside, but oh, look at that. I got one trying on the inside. That's forced me off because I was looking at him.
Blue flag.
That's made me make a mistake. He's right there. They're all over me. Remember, these are the leaders, you know. These are the guys at the front of the pack, so it should be harder to keep them off me than it was the boys at the back of the pack. Oh, he's gone. Look at that! I left a bit of a gap. And he's just gone straight through it. Corvettes and Porsches getting through those S's much faster than the BMWs, but they're not so fast on the straights. Who's behind me? Corvettes and Porsches by the looks of it. I'm actually keeping with him. But they're getting away from me in the corners. Keeping with them easier than I was the BMWs on the straights, but they're getting away from me. Is someone on my outside or is behind me? Is he going to have a look down the inside? Yes, he is. Right beside me. But I'll put a move on him. Is he going to try and switch back? No, he's... Oh, he's fallen back a bit there when he could have been... Could have been a bit more aggressive there, maybe. He's having a look down the inside, but I closed the door on him at the last minute. I think we swapped a bit of paint there. Look at that though, he's gone through the smallest gap.
2 minutes to go, 2 minutes.
I've got another one on the inside, he's already there, so I've got to leave space for him. He's right there. Side by side, is he going to... He's still there. Look at that! Just look at that! Oh my god! He totally outbraked me! Wow! So purely for just an offline game sim experience here, this is great.
That's a new fastest lap for tops 153.
You know, I've been so used to over the last month racing on the FANATEC servers, and the racing is fantastic. Just because, oh, I got a touch. Did I get a touch? I just did. I definitely got a touch there. Oh, no. Oh, just locked up the rears. And a bit of a slide. Porsche's immediately taking advantage of that. What happened with that little touch there? Hang on. What happened with that little touch? So, have a look at a bit of it. Yeah, the racing on the FANATEC servers, because people are worrying about their driver rating and safety ranking, has been so good. And so close. And this is against the AI, and it's close. They're still a bit jerky. Definitely not perfect. But then again, they still don't run the same physics as I do. We're totally close there. We touched. Oh, he's recovered from that slide a little too easily. But look at that, look. Bit jerky, still a bit jerky. Kevin's saying if they can just pass each other like that, yeah. Although I have to say, I've done videos where I've followed one AI driver and I've watched them make about 5 places. So I got the touch somewhere. Where was it? When we get to the other, into the Mercedes complex. So I get the touch here. What happened? What happened? Yeah. I did get a touch. That was a bit out of order there. That was a bit out of order. It was right on the outside. I had nowhere to go. Let's just come back a bit here. Right, so I'm going around. He's then going to come along on the inside. I'm having a bit of a slide. Yeah, he needed to slow down a bit there. So, anyway, let's carry on.
Blue flag. Blue flag.
I have to say, this is tremendously good fun. Oh, I'm up there. Should have not tried to ride that curb like that because they are quite steep and I went a bit overboard on it. Once you lose it once, you lose it about 3 more times, don't you?
Blue flag.
But these are the guys at the start, you know, further on up the pack, so they should be absolutely destroying me, and they are. But why hasn't it rained? Why did I not forget, remember, when I changed the weather to add a weather slot, did I forget to save it?
Okay, that's the end.
Right, there we go.
Try and forget this one, eh?
So that's me coming in pathetically. Right, now I've had a bit of practice. Look at their times now. Let's have a look at their times. So, best lap times. 1:53.1. 1:53.0. Looks like 1:53.02 is going to be the fastest lap. And I was a 1:54.840. So I was not the slowest in terms of lap times. But that consistency seems really good. Right, so if I go to skip cooldown lap, I'm just going to go restart session just to see what my fuel was.
20 minutes. V26.
So, yeah, I did forget to change my... I put in 16 litres. I looked at 16 litres. Not... I looked at litres, not laps. So I need to put in about 16 laps worth, didn't I? So that was my fault, not the Sim's fault. Do you like the F1 Ultimate Gen 2 cars? I tried an AI race at Silverstone and the AI is amazing there. I do. I do like them. I need to give them a try. But I also need to figure out why things went quite so badly wrong here. So let's leave here. We'll give the F Ultimates a go. Because someone else was asking about F1 as well. So what did I do wrong? Yeah, I've not saved the weather slot. Right. Now that I've had some practice, I know that they're generally the same speed to me. Sorry about this, but I'm going to do the same thing again. But I'm going to have changing weather. Save it. Because there's no point in trying the same test with a different car set at a different track. Because that's just going to reset everything. So let's get rid of the qualifying. But we're now going to see what happens when we change the weather. I've now had a bit of practice. I'm going to be a little bit faster. Should be able to keep with them better. I'll start last. But we got the right amount of fuel this time. It has to be done. I have to see what they're like in the wet. But we know we're going to get good competition off them because... Well, we already know. 152, so 16 laps of fuel should be enough, shouldn't it? Yeah, it should. Let's change, make sure our pit strategy is as we would like.
The track temp is 7, the air temp is 9 Celsius.
And we want to change to wets halfway through. Damage. Well, why has it changed all the damage? Oh, because I turned it all off last from in-car. Right. Right, okay, let's save that. Okay. How are we doing for time? What time is it? 9 o'clock. Oh, getting warm. Oh. Right, okay. Here we go.
Get ready, 20 minutes. Green, green, green.
Once again, brilliant start from the AI. Got away about as fast as I did there. All close. I'm going to be really cheeky and go right down the inside. Oh, very close, very close. Oh! Bit of contact there. Car went sideways. So we were never the same race twice. I don't know who touched the red car, but I had to slow down. Just touched him, but no damage. We'll get a replay of that in a minute. We'll see what happened. That seemed pretty realistic to me for a first corner smash, and we didn't get it last time around, so I'll wait till we get to a straight and have a look.
Well done, Paul. Good start.
Car overtake me on the inside there. Corvette having a look around the outside. Still there. God, the competition for these guys, I've kind of squeezed him out there. Right, let's have a look, see what happened. So, will we be able to see what happened, in fact? So I have been rather cheeky down there. Right, there we go. So, right, so there's the beamer on the outside there. So what happens to him? He's got a touch from the grey beamer, who's had to avoid me because I've been cheeky on it down the inside. I've then touched him, put him back into line. That's pretty good. See, I've gone down the inside of that grey beamer there, grey and red. He's not expecting it. This guy's braking, so he's ended up having to stay at the outside where he was going to go for where I was. He's given him a touch. He's gone round. Realistically as well. Managed to keep it. I've then knocked him into line. If we'd have been on maximum scaling damage there, that would have picked up damage. But that's... I caused that. Wow, okay. I'm impressed by that. Oh, he's not... I was trying to go around the outside, but... he wouldn't let me. Right, be careful on these curves this time. Paulie boy, come on. Remember, this time round we are going to have the changing weather. I want to try and stay in its slipstream. I am, but he got a better exit than me, and that BM is just in a straight line. It's got the legs. Round the outside, pulling hard. Oh, we're side by side. I'm going to really battle him. Because I know I can have him around these corners. Oh, outside, 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 outside. This is great competition. This is great side-by-side racing with them. Oh! I tried to brake late and ended up locking up the inside. I think that was my inside rear left went. Nearly lost it. The way that I lost traction, and the way it lost traction, and the grip came back just as I was opposite locking, trying to catch it. And just in terms of the way this Porsche drives, blooming great. Oh! Caught that curb again. Really unsettled the car. Caught way too much of it. But the curbs work properly in this sim. You know, curbs work properly. As they do in R-Factor 2 as well. Curbs were used to be a little bit of a problem in R-Factor 1 maybe. AC, bit of a problem in there as well. ACC, you used to be able to not touch them at all, but in AC they used to pull you into them on an inside curve rather than pushing you off. RF1 had a bit of that. R-Factor 2 pushes you back onto the track like you'd expect, so does this.
Off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.42 off the pace. Okay, Paul, it's starting to drizzle.
Here we go. That's the rain starting. So it's working now because I remembered to be not an idiot and save my settings. Because before I was an idiot. Oh, it was on the outside. Oh, I've got to defend. No, you can't have that place back. No, mate. Oh, no, he's got me. Oh, I've got to get it back. I've got to get it back. I'm not going to try and outbrake myself there again because we saw what happened last time. This is brilliant racing from them. Absolutely fantastic. Kevin says winter won't be long for me now. This game is great. Yes, yes. This is going to give us plenty to do over the winter.
Stay calm, keep it smooth.
I'm looking forward to nights in when I'm not gigging and doing live streams in R-Factor 2 and AMS2. And ACC, I haven't done one in that yet. I need to do one. I want to try and get some people into the GT4 servers. Phil. I'm going to stick the wipers on now. With ever such tiny feel the track changing and cooling down. Feel the fact there's a bit of moisture on it already.
53.42.
Changing weather is going to be exaggerated because I've got it synced to race. It's only a 20-minute race.
Okay, temperature's decreasing. It's now 7 Celsius.
Oh, braking distance is definitely getting a bit longer already. Oh, I got a touch from a car behind. I'm not going to pause it and see what happened there because there used to be a problem with weather. If you changed it when the weather was changing, it used to kind of screw up the weather system a bit. I don't know if that's still a problem in AMS2. I should think that's been fixed, but I'm not going to risk it. But that was... oh. So we're all still on slicks. Where am I? I'm in 25th. Oh! Little bit of lock up there. You can see the rain on the track now. Oh, yeah. Definitely losing grip already. Corvette having a look up the inside. Right, we're on slicks. They do have more grip than me. And I've just gone at the back of him.
Keep pushing.
I just can't brake like he does.
Car in front of us is.
So they are still... or am I just not... no, I'm sticking with him. No. Yeah, they've still got... I'm going to schedule a...
Okay, stop requested.
I'm I'm going on the wets because they're not too bad though. They're not ridiculous. They do. Yeah, I see. I can't keep with them.
You're out of track limits there.
They're on slicks. I'm on slicks. It's starting to get wet, but they have definitely. Some of them are pitting there, so that's great. Right. Oh!
What's your speed?
Nearly. Do you see? My pit speed limit went red there because I was over speed. I just got under speed before I got in there. Oh. My traction control light has come up. I've not got traction control on. That's just that's because my pit speed limit was. You know what I should have done? I should have turned on traction control. I could have kept it with them. Now I'm going to turn it.
Proper rate now. Looks like it's getting harder.
I'm going to turn on my traction control now. Then I should be able to keep with them. We're going on the wets now anyway.
Go. The track temperature is falling. It's now 4 Celsius. All clear.
So I'm coming out in 25th.
We need to get some heat into these brakes.
On wets. Added a bit of traction control to help me round. Come out quite a long way after the other guys, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch up or if I'm just going to stay about the. If I stay about the same, then that's good because it means they're not super superior in the wet or too slow in the wet. I want them just about right. Where's my lights? There we go. Wet tyres feel really, really good.
It's increasing. It's now 5.7. You've got 10 minutes left. 10 minutes to go. Okay, Paul, that's half.
Gotta say that.
Fuel levels are fine.
For anyone typing in the chat at the moment, I will have a look afterwards, but right now it's wet. I've got to concentrate, so I can't really look. I will come back to you. So we got some cars pitting now. I should make a few places. As some of the other cars have pitted late, so they're now pitting. So as we go past the pits, let's see, I'm in 25th, 23rd, oh, made a load of places there, 15th place. That's going to mix things up a bit. Trying to brake late there, but I'm on wets, so better than slicks, but it's still less grippy than, you know, slicks on the dry. I've flat spotted my tyre on that because I did lock up. Puddles feel much better than they ever did. Frame rate, though, I will say that frame rate is not good. I'm down. Frame rates are a bit choppy. They always were when you got, not necessarily rain, but when the headlights got turned on. I wish they could do something about that. Really changes the. That flat spot is not good for it. I'll tell you what. One thing Autumn Ballista 2 does better than almost any other sim is. ACC isn't really even as good as this because that does flatter spots quite well, but in AMS2 what I've noticed is if you flat spot a wheel, rather than just getting your vibration and everything through the wheel
12 seconds.
And lack of performance, it really seems to physically know where the flat spot is on your tyre, which tyre it is. And if your tyre's rotating and you're braking and all the other tyres without a flat spot are just on the edge of the threshold, the tyre with the flat spot on it it'll hit the flat spot and it'll stop and it'll wear it out even more in that patch. It really does feel like it. It's quite amazing and hard to explain because it's so finite, but I can't. You really seriously flat spot a tyre and you'll make that tyre worse over time. This really is quite amazing. This really is quite fantastic. I'm not making any places. I'm not losing any places. The AI seem... I'll be careful not to lock up here. I will say they were a little bit too fast for me when we were on slicks on a wet track, but dry on dry, wet on wet seems pretty equal. Although, because of that flat spot, I do feel like I'm slowing down a bit and I might get caught by someone now. Plus, I've moved up to 15th place and I know some of the faster guys are now behind me because of the pit stop, so... But yeah, I really wish there was some kind of option that Reza could implement that let you keep all of your graphics settings as high as you do normally, but just do something with the headlights so you can have the option for those of you with super duper, you know, i9 processors and 4090 graphics cards. You don't have to worry about all of this stuff. But for us lower, less deep-pocketed urchins, if they could just have the option of turning off projection and perpendicular rays and all of that for just the other car's headlights. You know, keep it your own, but the other car's headlights, just allow them to be seen but not project, maybe. That would sort out this choppy frame rate issue, because it's not too bad. But you can certainly notice it. I haven't been able to read all the comments, but there's one really short one there I've just glanced up at. What's the one? This is 1 minute. Oh, that flat spot is making a lot of difference to the way the car feels. It really is. I think someone just said turn the ABS on. I'm in GTEs, mate. So these cars have traction control, but no ABS. And I don't like the way ABS works in AMS2. It's actually worse than using no ABS. That puddle there's got really big there, but I can still control the car. I can actually control the car through it, but I can feel it pulling, and I can feel a lack of grip. The puddle's acting much better, and I'm getting caught. I am definitely getting caught now. Frame rate got quite bad there, down to 58 frames per second, and now I'm slowing down even more because I'm looking at my frame counter and not the road. Come on, Paul. Oh, flat spot is causing me. I love the way flat spots are done in this sim, and you really can feel it through the wheel, but it's not. Oh, he's look at that. Right, can I use him to help me out?
Okay, Paul, the next car is Berg.
That might be the leader. Got more cars behind me now. Oh! Really hit the pedal on the inside there. Oh! Really starting to muck it up now, guys.
That might be outside track limits.
Do not flat spot your tyres in the wet. This is what will happen.
19.
Right, can I just try and... Oh, the flat spot's getting worse and worse and worse. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. This doesn't happen in other sims. It does it so well in this. If you get a flat spot in other sims, you get horrendous wheel vibration. I actually think it's over-exaggerated in ACC. But it doesn't get worse. It doesn't break and lock up on the same spot all the time. It just doesn't seem to be able to do that. This, it does. It really does. And that's how it really should be, I think. But I will say, I know I've got a flat spot, but I think the AI might be, you know, a little bit faster in the rain compared to me than they are in the dry compared to me. I really, really wish there was a separate slider so you didn't have to go and adjust any files like custom AI files. Because just for one thing, a separate slider. So if you get a certain car set, and also the AI, the devs can never calibrate the AI. They can only do so much, but they can never calibrate the AI totally right for everyone, because there are certain people who I know are absolute aliens in the wet, and there are some people who are just no good in the wet, and they'll say it themselves. So they can never get the AI completely but if you could have a separate slider called AI wet ability, and so if the AI are at 120, or sorry, at 100% skill in general, you can then take your AI wet ability and change that from 100 to plus 20 or minus 20 to adjust them to your skill level in the wet. That would sort things out so much for everyone. And I think that is possible, because you've already got wet ability that you can adjust in custom AI files.
V25, last lap.
Cadence brake, cadence brake, cadence brake, cadence brake, cadence brake. Yeah. Oh, it's my front inside right that's really... It's got the flat spot. I think they've all got a bit of flat spotting now, but what's this puddle like? Yeah. I can drive through a massive puddle without the car going crazy at low speed. That is how it should be. That was maybe a bit exaggerated there, what I felt there. I was doing all right until I flat sputtered the tyres. Now I'm in serious trouble. I'm now back down to 25th place, which is where I started before. Oh no! The other thing is, these tyres are really cold. Try and get some heat into these. Obviously, wet tyres are going to be designed to operate at a different temperature and colder temperatures than soft slicks, but this is ridiculous. I'm like 22 degrees at the back. Do you know what? Okay, that is the last lap of the race, so I would have come in 25th. But I'm just going to change these tyres to see if it makes things a little bit ridiculous. So I would have come in 25th there, which is about where I started when I went into the pits. But I have to, this is something I have to, oh, I can't. Yeah. Will it let me pit when the race is effectively over? And I will have a look and see what this safety car is this time. Oh, they're doing it. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell them not to put fuel in. Doesn't matter. Just want to see how the car behaves without the flat spots. If it was just... So that is a Camaro, isn't it?
Okay, it's over. Bloody awful.
For anyone just joining the stream, someone asked me what safety car this car set uses. So in answer to that is a Camaro. Right. Yeah. This is already much better. So, in some sims, flat spots really detrimental to your force feedback, but not much else. In AMS2, flat spots really detrimental to your actual tyres. I can now brake again. I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to have to tell the guys at Reeza this as well, because it's become more and more apparent to me. From the first time I thought I felt it, which was ages ago, to now, flat spots act like you'd expect them to do in real life. If you don't change your tyres after you've got a serious flat spot, it's more than likely going to keep locking up on that spot as soon as the wheel rotates around to the point of the flat spot and just get worse and really muck up your tyres. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention there. Don't hit the wall. Cool, that was lucky. So let's see how fast I can take this chicane now without flats. Oh, although I've just, with that slide, I may have partially given my back rear right a little bit of one to try not to make that worse. But yeah, it's handling so much better now without the flat spots. Traction control off as well, because I think that might be one of the reasons I can't keep heating the rears. Also, I forgot to change my driving line because, of course, AMS2 now does simulate less grip on the rubbered-in line in the rain, which is what you want for realism. Yeah, I'm keeping more heat in now. So I said I was going to explore this build of AMS2 with a critical eye for anything that was a problem, but also try and spot things that are really good and flat spot behaviour. I'm going to say it again, best what it does, even if it's only doing it very basically, it does more dynamically than any other sim. Apart from maybe R-Factor 2. Let's see what happens if I hit that puddle on the inside. Yeah. I lifted, I can still control the car. But I can feel it pulling. Puddles have got better. I'm really, really impressed with that. And I'm now actually able to actually keep some heat in the tyres now that I can really drive this thing. Gonna keep that rear at around 46, 47. Puddle here. Still a bit exaggerated. Puddles under low speed. Yeah, puddles at low speed. Bit exaggerated. But yeah, I can keep heating the tyres now. Before I finish this little test and move on to something else, I've just got to try and really exemplify this puddle thing. They're a lot better than they used to be. But I still think this whole aquaplaning thing might be a little bit exaggerated at low speed. So, right, we're going to slow right down to... Oh no, that's alright. 50 kilometers per hour, and I can go, that's about 30, and I can drive through on wet. Okay. That's not too bad, actually. That's not too bad, because it used to be you could hit them at 5 miles an hour and the car would go just completely nuts. Let's find another big puddle. There's one down near the end of the straight here. Look how cold my tyres I got. Just before I do that, I'm going to warm these tyres back up. And wear them out. Yeah, I'm just wearing them out, but they are warming up. Does prove another thing. We did have a problem with wets not wearing. Wets were just not wearing for a while during the development process of this last major update. They certainly do wear now. Right, look at that huge puddle coming up there. So I'm going to slow down to 50, which is about 30. That's 50 kilometers per hour. Let's take it at 60, which should be about 35. See what happens. Yeah, still steer the car through it. That's good, because you used to literally just, you could hit it at 50 or below even, and the car would just go, Poo. Right, that's that over and done with. I'm sure you're all bored with this racetrack and cars now, because you've been seeing me. If you've been following this stream, then, well, if you've been watching it, you're completely mad. So, what to try next? Someone was mentioning... I better read some of your comments, actually, because I've been ignoring you all. So, I've only missed a few comments, so... Hello, Dirge EXE! Or D1 RGE EXE. Any idea when Reza may do some work on the traction control? It still seems to have almost no effect unless on off. How do you mean unless on off? It's got like 10 different levels on some cars. Are you talking about the traction control which is built into the car, or the traction control as an artificial aid built into the game? Because the traction control is working much better than it ever did. ABS, I've got a real problem with the ABS. Oh no, you are talking about 1 to 9. For me, 1 to 9 make no difference. Only on off. And as I said to C little earlier, yeah, nothing you can do about the ABS in those cars because they are GTEs and just plain don't have any. Just going to check the forums. Nothing new going on there. Let's check these forums over here. Ooh, might be something in that's something completely unrelated. Right, back to what we're doing here. So, I don't know if they're still here, but someone mentioned trying the... Did they say the Gen 2 or the Gen 1? Gen 2. Let's try some Gen 2 cars. F Formula. Let's try... the Formula Gen 2... Ultimate Gen 2 at Monza. There we go. And because I'm a bit scared of how fast these are going, I'm going to put it all the way down to 95 skill level. Max aggression, skill level 95. And I'm just going to try these ones in the dry, I think. We'll go medium weather. Should we leave it on current date? Current date, but sunny. There we go. And we'll go for a 15-minute race with these, because we're not changing weather. And I am going to put in qualifying, because I've got no idea how... I think the last time when I tried a race with the Gen 1s, they were pretty good competition on like 90, 95, so hopefully that's the same. 10 minutes of qualifying to get used to the car. Good, okay. And I've got to remember, what have I got to think about? I've got DRS to think about here. I've got regen, and the brake regen to think about. I'll probably just leave that unbalanced. Huh. Yeah. And then after this, what I might do is have a break, end the stream, have my dinner, and then maybe come back online later and run an open server. And stream again. I'm not sure. So, 15 minutes. Let's put some qualifying fuel in. Why have I done that? This is already on defaults. 6 laps worth of qualifying fuel. And let's just get used to the car. Let's just see how the car drives. See little, for my information, if you like F1, Race Department has a skin download for all the real liveries and AI names and skins. Yeah, I think I've seen that. I've decided not to install any mods or anything into AMS2 until, you know, they've settled on a build, because things keep changing so much. I know one of the guys who did the skins and for their helmets and the fire suits and everything, did all of that, and then so I don't lose tire heat. Then they brought out a new build just as he brought that out, and it completely kind of balked it for him, which is unfortunate. There's nothing that can be done about it, but it is unfortunate. So I'm going to wait till it's all, you know, sort of been done. So where's my mode now? Build, balance, attack, qualifying. Put it in qualifying.
We've got 8 minutes to get a decent lap in.
Let's put in the regen. Okay. Right, let's get really in grips with this car. For this, I'm afraid, I just want to turn off all of the HUD. I just want to get used to this car, purely get used to it, see what it's driving like now. Because it's been a while, to quote Stained. It's always the most amazing thing about driving F1 cars is the brakes. The brakes are just phenomenal. And the speed that you change gear at, especially in a car with this many gears. I know flip-flops one of my subs and mate. Oh, I've got DRS. Where's the DRS button? He's not a fan of this car. Too many gears. It does have a lot. 8 gears. Look at that. Nearly overcooked it there. I'm actually just going to bring my HUD up again. Check. Am I doing the right thing with the DRS?
The leader has just done a 124.8. The leader has just done a 124.4.
Right, so yeah, DRS is doing its thing properly.
The leader's just done a 124.1. The leader has just done a 124.1.
Get rid of all of that again. I suppose I'd better leave the HUD up so you guys can see what I'm doing, so you can see my throttle inputs and everything else. It's only fair to you guys. I prefer to have it off right now, but had a bit of a lock up there. Oh, I'm going to be so slow in these. I'm going to. So compared to the GTEs, I do find F1 cars much more of a challenge to drive because I'm just not. You know, my own level of skill is just better in tin tops, so I'm slow in F1 cars, but it's still a car in a sim, so I should still have a reasonable skill level at it.
You're last.
But I'm pretty sure, even though I've now turned the skill
5 minutes to go. 5 minutes.
down from 105 for the GTEs, which I was just keeping up with, I'm so impressed with that. I'm so impressed with the flat spot behaviour. I'm pretty sure, even though I've turned it down to 95 skill for these, I'm going to be last. Because plus I'm talking as well. But what I'm really feeling here, compared to earlier builds, one sec.
Sector 2 is 1.3 seconds off the pace.
Is that this car is very fast, it has a lot of grip, but it's no longer a thing that's just unreal and is on rails. It's, you know, it's ridiculously fast, but if you push it to its limit, it will bite you now.
Fastest lap today.
I like that.
Sector 3 is 1.7 seconds off the pace.
I like that. Certainly have to think about your acceleration out of corners with all of that. Acceleration. It will scroll.
Sector 1 is 0.6 off the pace.
Curb behaviour is very good indeed. AI at Monza are slow round that corner, or they used to be. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they're like now. Previously, with any car, they'd be slow out of that corner. But it's going to be hard to see if they still are, if I can't keep up with them. I'm 3 seconds, nearly 4 seconds off race pace. I can't just completely floor the throttle around there anymore, like used to with this car. It's fantastic.
Good lap, that's your best in the session. Sector 3 is 1.5 seconds off the pace. Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go.
Oh, very slow through there. Once again, feeling of brake and brake lockup in this build so much better than it's ever been before in this car, as well as what I've driven so far. But I'm so down on my time and I'm just miles behind everyone.
Sector 2 is 1.4 seconds off the pace.
Right, can I do something special with this corner here? Come on.
Sector 3 is 1.4 seconds off the pace.
Come on.
Sector 1 is 0.4 off the pace. The leader is just at 124.1.
Okay, wow. 1.5 seconds up. And lose it on the last corner. Okay. Oh wow, I'm not lost! I'm not lost! Since the latest updates, these F1 Gen 2 cars handle beautiful at the limit. Your battery's at 0, put to recharge for a lap, then go back to qualifying. I know, I saw that, but I didn't press the button. I was just, I saw it had gone to 0, and I was just like, oh, I just couldn't be bothered with it. There's so much, there's so many buttons to press on these new cars these days, but I'm happy with that. Look at that, look. So, at 95% skill level, they are matched to me being in nearly last. Right, oh, this is... It takes me a while to get used to these cars, this low downforce version as well. Right, what time was I doing? Did you see what time I was doing? Oh, damn, why didn't I check exactly? 120 something, wasn't it? So, 15 minutes... Oh, I'm going to put 12 laps of fuel in. Stay right on the safe side. Right. Oh, all right, Kevin. Oh, God, you're off for a beer. I'm going to have to go out and get some beers later. Thank you for the reminder. Right. Lovely to see you, Kevin. Here we go. Enjoy your beer.
Be ready. Watch for the lights.
Here we go.
Go, go, go.
Oh, a bit too much throttle because I got a lot of wheel spin there, but... Very good start from the AI, and a little bit better than me, which they should be because I wheel spin too much, I wasn't thinking. Big slowdown coming into the first corner. real difference in the force feedback on this car at between low and high speed. Oh, gone right down the inside there. Got a car beside me. Got through safely though. Oh, they are. Sparks from the under tray there. They are slow in the first lap with these. Or is it because I've got my thingy in attack mode? I probably want to get it balanced. Let's change that to balanced. Yeah. Oh, look at that. So I've made a few places. But look at that. He's got out that corner much better than I did. Split stream him. Oh, he's braking a lot earlier than I thought he would. Oh! Okay. Bad exit. He's gone straight through. As he should do. A bit worried about them. Why is he braking so damn early there? Is that just the one driver doing that, or are they all doing it? Ah! I think they're on a very different setup to me. Because look at their speed on the straights.
The leader has just done a 125.1.
But they're braking so early for the corners, it makes me think they've got ultra low downforce setups. So they have to brake early for those corners. So I'm going to have to make it up in the corners with these guys. That's got to be it. We're on very different setups. Because look. Oh! Oh! Really had to brake hard there. And I did lock up a tiny little bit. And I think I've got a tiny wee bit of a splat spot. That is not good. Yeah, they are running. That's why they were.
Stewart's ahead is now 0.1.
They're making all their times of. Oh, I've got DRS ready. They're opening their wings. I just saw the AI open their wings. I should be able to beat them through these corners because they are on super ultra low downforce setups. And I am not. I'm now defending from this guy behind. This is amazing.
Okay, Paul, I want you to know, just keep it smooth, no mistakes.
So look, I'm so much. I can brake so much later, get through those corners much faster than. But as soon as we're on the straight, look. And he's got DRS as well, and I haven't. Look at that. But I'm going to outbrake him. Remember, I'm on a completely default setup, and they will have changed theirs for this track. Because as we know, anything over, I think it's 80%, and they start changing their setups. It's either 80 or 90, I think it's 80. Oh, I did lose a bit of downforce being behind him there as well. I've made a mistake there. He's taken advantage straight away. Can I get him at this corner? Oh! I got a bit over exuberant there. How did I not get damage from that? I think we might want to check that one out on the replay. Yeah, I tried to outbrake him and did brake too late, but I tried to overtake 2 cars, not 1. And at these speeds, silly boy. Right, let's see that on the replay. Another thing to note about this update, for those, because I've obviously been going through the development cycle for the last few months being in the Paddock Club, so I've seen things change incrementally. But for those who, you know, didn't buy it at the Paddock Club, obviously it's been a massive update. Isn't it nice to see that we've now got, you can see the camber on the wheels visually now. Makes a hell of a difference to the way the sim looks. So, it was at Ascari that we had our little problem, so let's wind it on. Oh, why is the camera stopped there? And that is where I had my little problem. Outbrake myself, went too wide, and immediately he's taking advantage of that. Brilliant. I haven't noticed it being slow through that corner. Right, here we go. Okay, yeah, that's actually reasonable that we didn't get damage there. We're on the threshold of it for sure, but so here we go. Just yeah, so I slid. Actually, it was only tyre to tyre contact. That's all we had. We may have got damage if we'd have been on full scaling though. Okay, right, back to it. Oh god, it's got that view. Can't see where I am. Oh my god! Oh my god, he actually managed to outbrake me there, or tried to at least. And that caused a problem for both of us, because of course I locked up, and now I have got... Oh, I've got a real flat spot there. That's not good. That's 2 of them managing to outbrake me. I'm still catching them on the corners. And they are no longer super slow through that corner. Bravo, Reza. Another good thing you've done. Look at the sparks. I love the sparks. In the undertray there. Another thing which I've been working on. Oh, I nearly outbrake myself. I'm getting too confident about my braking compared to theirs. Feel that flat spot though. Just got to make sure I don't make it worse. They've got DRS. Oh, one of them has. One of them hasn't, so I can catch up with the one that hasn't. Oh, I've done it again. Outbrake myself. Damn it.
You went out to track limits there.
I've always loved the penalty system in this. If you go off track but you don't overtake anyone and you slow down enough, you're alright. If you do and you take a place, it says give the place back. Brilliant, love that. Don't like slow down in the middle of the track systems. Not a fan of those. AC's got that, I'm not a fan. R-Factor 2, really good penalty system in that as well. And this is just really good, really good. Right, come on.
The guy ahead of us is Stuart.
Oh, I'm just trying to take too much speed through that corner now. Getting a bit silly. I'm too carried away with how late you can brake.
Stuart ahead is now
Brake at
2.0 seconds.
154,
The lap time was
there we go.
29.0. Good lap. That's your quickest today.
Oh, thank you, Jim.
You've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Oh, what's happened up there? Tyre smoke, a mistake from one of the AI maybe?
That's 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes. Alright, Paul, you've used half your fuel.
I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving this. Oh, dirt building up on the inside of the corner there, making it quite slippery. He's been going off track.
It's your best lap in this session. The captain, Stuart, in front is now 1.6.
Ah! Did it again.
Track limits.
Right, okay, now I've got a chance. DRS. Oh! Oh!
The car in front is lap in tap.
Oh, damaged the car. Damaged the car. What do I think of the handling of these cars now, CSL? I think it's good. I think you can actually now lose it in them, whereas they're a bit sort of stuck to the road like complete glue before. I think it's really good. Looked like a Mercedes GT3 or GT4
The next car is Stuart.
safety car there, just in case anyone was wondering. Oh, I've lost downforce on the front end a little bit. Yeah, I think it's good.
The captain, Stuart, ahead is increasing. It's now 9.7 seconds.
I will say that, because I'm on soft slicks here, the grip loss is still a bit with this car. When I go around a corner, even when coming off the throttle, it's still a little bit, how can I put it? The grip loss isn't as sort of go and come back snappy like you'd expect a F1 car to be. It's still a little bit sort of, and then come back. You know, that was pretty realistic. I went wide there, came off the rubbered in line, got to the out as soon as my back wheels were on drier and dusty part of the track went nicely, and then the fronts regained quicker because they were on the more grippy stuff. But as far as I'm concerned, for this car, best it's ever been. .51 seconds to go, and I am last. I am very much last. If I hadn't started mucking up, I might still be in 25th, you know, and finish just not quite last. But I started really screwing up, and that's completely my fault for losing concentration. I do find it, I'm not as good with open wheelers fast open wheelers as I am with tin tops, and this is proving it. But very pleased to see I've got this level of competition at 95% skill, which means I can take it all the way down to 70, so I'll be able to take it down and beat them if I want, but I've also got tons to go, tons of headroom to go if I get better at them. Brilliant. And this is on a default setup, and the AI are definitely not running a default setup. And that line of dirt there, once you're on it, you can feel it, you really can. One more lap to go, thank you, Jim. I really started mucking up my braking as well. You need to be... I like the way these cars brake, because you can absolutely stamp on the brakes at high speed and then gradually come off. And I keep forgetting that, because in some sims, it just doesn't do braking properly. And like I said, the braking in this has got better and better and better and better. Some sims get it the opposite way round. It's hard to think when I'm going this fast. Sorry. But you know, it's like if you're driving a real car, you should be able to put more pressure on the brakes at higher speed, in a straight line at least, and then gradually come off. Not in every situation, obviously, there are so many variables, but in general, they've got it right with the brakes on this car. So that's it, but let's just, I was getting my braking wrong. I need to be loads of pressure, loads of pressure, loads of pressure. There we go, and then gradually come off just towards the, yeah, it's just, feeling of the brakes there, absolutely fantastic. That was brilliant. And yeah, I'm with them. They managed to maintain, I thought they were a bit slow on the first few laps, but not too much. They were definitely slower into the corners because they had a very different setup to me, but they were millering me on the straights. I am very impressed, I must say. And it's now gone 10 o'clock. I don't believe it. I'm going to have to end the stream there. I've got to eat. I've not eaten. I've been streaming for nearly 4 hours, so that's not too bad. I hope it's been useful. There's tons more to look at. I don't know if I'm going to get time to do anything over the weekend. Might be able to do a little stream on Saturday. I'm not sure yet because I've got a rehearsal as well to think about. But yeah, I'm very impressed with a lot of stuff. Still some little issues like that Corvette bouncing up and down. That's a big thing. I have told the devs about that many times though. Yeah, the launch control system is pretty good but needs refining. But you know, physics wise, everything's pretty damn good. And AI wise, really blown away. That's really impressed with the AI. Right, so thank you very much, C Little, for that great stream. Have a good one. Will do. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you on track sometime. I'm going to go and eat some... Well, I'm going to put food in my face. I'll see you later. Happy sim racing.